Good evening, and welcome to Derren Brown's Infamous. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Derren Brown.
We are all trapped inside our own heads, and our beliefs and understandings about the world are limited by that perspective. I came out when I was 31, presume that I was gay when I was a teenager, so that's 15, 16 years of pretending this huge part of you doesn't exist, of dreading the subject of sex, and generally feeling like you don't fit in. And then many years later, you realize you have to come out. You have to tell people about it at some point. I didn't mean you specifically just then. Sorry, I was just looking at... Sorry, forgive me, I was just gesturing. One has to come out. And when you do, this is my point. If you have any secret, whatever it is, anything that you carry around with you and you think you couldn't possibly tell people, when you finally do, when you finally summon up the courage to get this big thing off your chest, you realize people don't care. They don't care, not really. Not even your best friends, in the nicest way, don't really care. Because they are also trapped inside their own heads. They are the center of their own worlds, and stuff you're saying to them is just some information about you, really. It's all it is. Like what I'm telling you now, it's big stuff for me, for you, it's just some information about me. The novelist David Foster Wallace said, brilliantly, I think, you'll worry a lot less about what other people think of you when you realize how seldom they do. It's very good, but we're terrible at realizing what goes on in other people's heads because we are trapped inside our own, and one consequence of that is that we're particularly bad at realizing how fundamentally similar we all are. So if you're in your 30s, I'm talking to you now. There'll be concerns that you might have or issues that you might be facing, which you may feel just apply to you. The comforting reality is they apply to pretty much everybody in their 30s. Women in that age group, you'll have started going to the doctors more often. And men, very common, particularly in your later 30s, to feel stuck in a rut and to fear the possibility of an extramarital affair. And statistically, in an audience this size, 13 of you will be having an affair right now. 13 of you. I don't mean right now, like this second. But although there is something going on up the top, can't quite tell what it is. But 13 of you, and these are real patterns of behavior. There are similar patterns for people in their 40s and 50s and 60s and so on throughout life. So if I were a psychic, which I am not, or if I claim to have special powers, which I really don't, I could use that kind of information to seemingly know a lot about you, or give somebody a powerful reading. So imagine you've come to see me, and I'm a stage psychic. And I say that I'm picking up some kind of psychic vibration from somebody in the audience, and I say it's a lady, and actually, could you, I promise I won't ask you up on stage, could you just put your hand up if you are a lady? Just so we can see how it works out in terms of numbers. So please do this on the balconies as well, and right up at the top of the back. Keep your hands up as long as this continues to apply to you, all right? So let's say I'm sensing it's a lady and sort of a youngish lady, sort of around 20, that kind of age. And I'm sensing your name begins with an F. It's a random letter, but it'll just help narrow you down. So keep your hands up as long as this has continued to apply to you, right? Now, in the dark, it can feel a bit special. I think he's talking to me. Whereas the reality is, do keep your hands up. If we just bring the lights up for a moment, moving the lights up, if you look around you, you should see in the nicest way, nothing special happening at all. Just a bunch of Fs sat in the dark. Actually, could you stand up if you've got your hand up? Could you stand up? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so yeah, it's good. Right, a good number of you. Anybody on these other balconies? Yeah, hello, great. Could you stand up? We'll get a microphone to you. This is on the upper circle. The rest of you can sit down. I think I'll just talk to this lady here, but thank you so much for standing. What's your name?
Faye.
Faye, nice to meet you, Faye. If you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
20.
20. Have you got any pets?
Yeah.
What have you got? Don't say their names, just like dogs, cats, whatever they are, it's fine.
Dogs.
Dogs, what breed?
Staff.
Staffers, okay, good. You said dogs, is that 2?
Yeah.
Did you name them both yourself?
Family name.
Family named them, okay. All right, how long ago did they name them? Roughly, what are we talking about? A few years ago?
About 10, 11 years ago.
10, 11 years ago. Okay, what do your parents do for a living? Or at least what were they doing back then?
Hairdresser and electrician.
Hairdresser and electrician, okay, good. Okay, the dog's male, female, one of each?
Female.
Okay, both female?
Yeah.
All right. Now listen, you're going to tell me the name of one of the dogs and I'm going to work out what they would have called the other dog, all right? So if you think of both of the names, if you think one of them is maybe a little more obvious than the other one, then give me that one so I can work out the more unusual one, all right? So take your time, but just give me the name of one of the dogs.
Ebby.
Ebby?
Yeah.
E-B-B-Y?
E-B-B-I.
A-E-B-B-I. Maybe short for ebony? Is it a black dog? Okay, all right, good. So this will be the name of the other one. All right, and it's a female?
Yeah.
Okay, and they name both of them together. All right, just imagine you are calling this dog to you. Imagine you're calling the dog to you. All right, now as you do that, just keep repeating the name in your mind again and again. Now, the lips remain sort of quite relaxed, importantly, so we know there's no sort of plosive sounds or like P's or B's or anything that would bring the lips together. So keep repeating the names. No, it's also at the front of the mouth, so you've got like an N or a T, maybe, and I think we're starting with a S sound or a Z. Oh, there you go, careful. You don't need to say yes, that's okay. I'll work it out. I appreciate the help, just takes the challenge out of it somewhat. Oh, there you go, back up there again. So just keep repeating the name, just shout the name, nothing out loud, but in your mind, just shout the name, like you're screaming to this dog to come to you, right? Louder and louder until you are... Oh, no, they called it Xena. Xena with an X, like the princess... Yeah. Well, yeah, thank you very much indeed, great, take a seat. Well done, thank you. So, thank you so much. So this is genuinely specific information, right? Not just things that would apply to everybody. So let's keep this really specific. Put your hands up now if you're a man aged between 28 and 35. Put your hands up. Keep them up if you are in the earning group 20 to 50K. And then keep them up if you've been in a relationship for at least 2 years. Otherwise, drop your hands. All right? Good. Okay, we get the lights up. Let's choose one of you. I'm going to choose from downstairs. So upstairs, you may drop your hands. I'll come to you in a moment. Let's keep your hands up downstairs. All right, wave your hands so I can see you, so I can see more clearly. Okay, all right. I want to get this over this side. So can somebody get it to somebody with a hand up? Doesn't have to be the person nearest you. Just take a look around you. Get it to somebody with a hand up. Okay, could you stand up for me, sir? There's a microphone there. Rest of you can drop your hands. Let me talk to this gentleman. All right, great. What's your name, sir?
Nick.
Nick. Okay, Nick. So we're going to go really specific, Nick. I want you to think of a word, an English word, ideally at least 4 letters, but it doesn't have to be. If you want to go shorter, that's up to you. But have you got something?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Now, whatever you're thinking of, Nick, is the first word that's just come into your head, and I've just stood you up in front of 2,000 people and asked you to do that. I don't want you going home later saying to yourself, he just put me on the spot, I didn't get a chance to think, I bet everyone just thinks of the same word. So right now, Nick, is when you change your mind again and again and again, so you don't have that excuse later on. All right? You can imagine if you like, you're looking through a dictionary, maybe you come across an unusual word, maybe not too unusual, maybe that in itself would be quite predictable. Just take your time, have a look through it. You've got 26 letters to look through. Take your time until you come across a word you're absolutely happy that I could not just rely on everybody thinking of. Have you got something in your mind now? Change your mind as many times as you like. Yes?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Okay, there's a guy with a pen and paper just there. 2 things, Nick. You're going to write this word down nice and large and clearly, please, because we are going to show it around. But, Nick, really importantly, don't let anybody see what you write. Stick it in the envelope when you're done. Thank you. So this is really specific, right? Even more specific than a pet's name. Which actually just reminds me of something. Let me just show you this briefly. Just while Nick's writing his word down. Can I get this to a lady on or near the aisle? Somewhere over here. So, lady on or near the aisle. Somebody, sorry. Just pass it around. Somebody's lady on or near the aisle. Thank you. Somebody stand up with it. Hello, what's your name, madam?
Amanda.
Amanda, nice to meet you. Do you have a mobile phone number? Do you know it off by heart?
Yes.
Yes, could you write it down for me? There's a guy with a pen and paper there. Gentlemen. That's how you do it. People waste so much time. Amanda, don't let anybody see. Just write it down, fold it up, put it in your pocket when you're done. I saw a psychic do this. I always go and see psychic shows when I can. This one was up above a pub, packed out with people in their 60s and 70s, which is maybe why this flew past them. But the psychic asked a lady to write down her mobile phone number, fold it up, put it in a pocket without anybody seeing. You doing that for me, Amanda? Is it out the way? Yep, lovely, thank you. And she said it was a test, that the spirits would be able to tell what the phone number was. Well, which is a bit odd, but, you know, kind of made sense, so I was intrigued. So could you stay standing for me, Amanda, if you don't mind? Thank you. So just get that right out the way in your pocket or something if you've got one. Thank you. So she, and obviously, you know, you try not to be judgmental or, you know, but you try and keep an open mind. But I swear to God, she goes, all right, love, I'm getting your grandma, she's coming through. Does actually sound like it now I've said that out loud. I'm getting your grandma, love. She's giving me a phone number as proof that she's coming through. All right, she's saying, she's giving me an O. She's saying there's an O at the start of the number. Is that right? Is that right, love?
Yeah.
Is there an O at the start? Thank you. Just passing it on, whatever comes through. She's saying
She was the right chatterbox, so she's giving me another number. She's saying... Thanks. She's saying a 7. She's saying 07 at the start. Is that right?
Yes.
Is there an 07 at the start? Thank you very much. No, she's fading away now, love. She's fading away, Petal. But that's something you can take away with yourself. That's £40. You can sit yourself back down. I swear it was pathetic. Sorry, thank you so much, Amanda. It was truly embarrassing. Did that give you enough time, Nick, to write your word down?
It did, yes.
Yes?
Yes, it did.
Yes? OK, have you put it in the envelope?
Yes.
Yes, good, because I also have an envelope. OK, so Nick, can you get yourself to the bottom of the stairs on this side? Just push past the camera people over there for me. And can someone who doesn't mind just reading something out briefly just nip up on the stage? Anyone that fancies coming up. Quick as you can. Somebody come up here. It's going to be you, I think. What's your name, sir?
Luke.
Luke, give Luke a hand. I've become Luke. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you, Luke. Can you take this off my back? You take it off my back. Thank you. Pull it off. Pull it, pull it, pull it. Come stand here. Come stand there for me, Nick. Just there. No, Luke, rather. Luke. Nick's over there. Right, Luke, just here. Could you take it out? There's a letter in there. If you take that out for me, I'm going to read this out. But your job is just to check over my shoulder that I'm not changing anything, all right? So I'll take it out. Thank you so much. All right. Are you there, Nick? So look, as I read this out, please, when it gets to the important bit, don't react. So tonight, on the 27th of March, that is tonight, at the Grand Theatre Leeds, that's where we are, I shall ask someone to think of a word. Oh, I did say a man aged between 28 and 35. You are, aren't you? Yes? And in the earning group, 20 to 50K? And in a long-term relationship? OK. The fact the weather has been cold and overcast today, so you start thinking more about inside sort of things, indoorsy things. The language I used when I asked them to think of a word, and I was using very visual language with the dictionary and so on. The fact that I've stood them up, which means they'll be thinking under pressure, and I got you to change your mind again and again and again, which sort of increases that pressure and starts to kind of push them down certain avenues. All these and other subtle factors will combine to, hopefully, psychologically force the person to think of a particular word, which is film, all right? Film as in, as in movies or film, right? Camera film, movies and so on. Do you want to bring yourself up here? Come and stand here for me. Thank you, Nick. Do you want to keep reading this out? If you just go from there, from the person into the mic. Off you go, Luke. Thank you.
The person who wrote the word has been told not to react. If they have written any word in the English language other than film, this does not reflect badly on Derren or his presented skills.
Fair point. But if out of all the words they could have chosen, they have written film, the audience will go mental. And it does say it there very clearly in print. Mental. You've got this look like this hasn't worked, and I think I know why. Whatever it is, if you take it out, hold it up, show the camera there, like for a good 5 seconds, so everybody can read it. Whatever it is, just shout into the mic as well what it is.
Sorry, I've sealed it.
Oh, you've sealed it? OK.
Yeah.
Oh, God, the suspense.
No.
Christ.
The word is film.
The word is film, you did! There you go, keep on at that, isn't that better tonight? Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Luke. Thank you too, Luke. Luke and Nick! Thank you so much. I would She's coming back through. Amanda, stand up, your grandma, she's come back. All right, she's saying there's a number in your phone number, like a 5 or a 3 or a 9.
Yes.
Which one?
3.
3, that's what she's saying now. She's showing me a 3 very clearly. The others have fading away. There's not a 222 in the middle, is there, love? 222?
No.
No, that's what she's saying. There's not a 222 in the middle. It's another £40. You can sit yourself back down. Thank you. I'm sorry. Listen, if you've ever been to see a spiritualist medium, or particularly if you think you may go and see a medium at some point, I would love for you to come up on stage in the second half of this show and allow me to do a form of mediumship with you. So if this appeals to you and you are 18 or over, can you bring yourself to those stairs? In the interval, they'll bring you up when it's safe to come up. But first, I would love to give one of you a gift, but a real gift. The gift of a trance state. And this trance state will be such that for the brief amount of time that you are in it, it'll be the equivalent of spending a week at a really expensive, exclusive spa somewhere. So I'm only going to choose one of you to give you the full experience. But nonetheless, you can all take part in this and get a taste of it and feel what it's like, because it's so good for you and it feels amazing. So if you'd like to do it, please, stand up. Up you get. Up you get. Come on, feet flat on the floor. Stand yourselves up.
If you stand with your hands down by your sides, and stand with your feet about a hip's width apart so you can stand quite solidly, quite comfortably. Good. Anybody watching this at home, this will not work on you at home, all right? You can watch the show quite safely. It won't have any influence on you at home, so don't worry about that. I'm not quite going to hypnotize you. It's a little bit different because I want you to be aware of it. That's the whole point, is that you enjoy it. Okay, good. So take a look at me. Take a deep breath right the way in now. Bring it all the way in, right the way in, and then let it out. Again, deep breath all the way in and out. And again, all the way in and out. Now, tense up the muscles in your feet and your legs. And with your eyes closed now, listen very carefully. You're keeping your eyes closed. In a moment, I'm going to count to 3 and click my fingers. When I do, you will go straight down into this sleep state. You'll remain standing. Your head will drop down, your breathing will become lovely and deep and rhythmical, and you can just sink straight down, still hearing and understanding everything. Here we go. Just go with it. I want you to enjoy it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Sleep. And as your head drops down, just let your whole body relax. And as you do this, I want you to imagine that you are walking down a staircase. And each step that you take on the staircase relaxes you more and takes you deeper. Each breath that you breathe relaxes you more and takes you deeper into this sleep, still hearing and understanding everything. And as you do this, I'm going to come down and talk to a couple of you. And the nice thing is it'll take me a couple of minutes to find a couple of you to talk to, which gives you plenty of time to just continue to sink and drift deeper and deeper down at your own rate and speed. That's really good. That's really good. Let me come across to talk to a couple of you as you continue down the staircase, each step taking you deeper. Each word that I say, relaxing you more and taking you deeper into that sleep. Excuse me, can I bring you out of there? Good. So I'm just going to talk to a gentleman here. I'm putting my hand on your shoulder. You'll know that I'm talking to you as you carry on sleeping. I'm going to bring your arm out here. We're going to lock it into place. So clench your fist and lock that arm tightly into place. Now tighter and tighter, locking it tightly into place. That's good. So tight. Now that when I take my hand away, it just carries on locking all on its own. Tighter and tighter into place. You see, the more you try to unlock it, the more it just keeps on locking. Tighter and tighter. That's good. Until I touch you on the hand again. And when I do, it'll be released. And as it comes down, you'll just sink and tumble and fall so deeply down into that sleep. Now, right the way down. I got you right the way deep and right the way sound asleep. Just drifting and sinking down. That's really good. Excellent. Very good. Thank you. So in a moment, I'm going to count backwards from 3 to 0. And this will wake you up. It'll bring you up and out of the sleep. And very importantly, I'm talking to you all as a group, but I'm also talking to each of you as an individual. I'm talking to the deepest part of your unconscious mind. 3, here we go. Waking up has never felt so good. 2, and 1, and when you are quite ready to be fully wide awake for the rest of the evening, 0, you can open your eyes, come back to us, be fully wide awake. Take a look around you. Feels good, doesn't it? Enjoy that. Nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hi, hello, great. So, take a seat. Apart from you, what's your name?
Adam.
Adam, lovely to meet you, Adam. Give Adam a big hand. Could you take this off? Just put that on your chair in front of you. Give Adam a hand as you bring him up. Up you come, Adam. Lovely, up you come, Adam. Thank you. The rest of you can take a seat for me. Thank you, Adam. All of you, please, as I'm bringing up Adam, can you all please take a look? All of you at both of your neighbours. Very quickly, people on both sides of you. Everybody do that for me now. Even if you don't know them, just a quick look. Thank you, Adam. I'm going to stand you there facing the front. Thank you so much. A quick look to people on both sides. If either of your neighbours is still asleep, now's a really good time to let me know. Put your hand up and make a fuss, otherwise I will presume everybody is wide awake. Good. So is it Adam? Adam, nice to meet you. Thank you. Look at me now and just sleep. Right the way back down, right the way deep. I got you. Right the way sound asleep. Just drifting and sinking and floating and spiralling. That's good. My voice just there in the centre of your head. One thing that really interests me about this fact that we are trapped inside our own heads, that we're the centre of our own world, is that we tend to think that problems in life are real and solid and permanent. The reality is, those same things, just viewed from a different perspective, can suddenly seem temporary and flimsy somehow. And Adam, you're really good at this. And every time I put you back into this sleep, you are going to go deeper, it'll be richer, it'll be more enjoyable each time that you do this. But for now, I want you just to slowly reorientate yourself back to the room. You'll feel yourself waking up, you feel that refreshment moving up through you. When you're quite ready, you can open your eyes and come back to us. Excellent. Thank you, Adam. All right, so let me show you this here. This is something you can all do with each other. You need to get yourself a box that you can put your hand through. I can just do it a little more quickly with Adam because I know he'll be very responsive to this. Adam, I'm going to put something in this box. I don't want you seeing what it is. So if you don't mind, just face the front and just close your eyes, just so you can't see. It's nothing unpleasant. It's a very ordinary household object. I just don't want you seeing what it is. Okay, Adam, you can open your eyes now for me, thank you. Can you put your hand flat on top of the box? Maybe take a sideways step towards it as well. Please don't look at what's in there, thank you. All right. So in a minute, I'm going to get you to lower your hand into the box and find the object. You will probably tell what it is pretty quickly, but it's not really about you identifying it. This is just about you paying attention to kind of the sensations that you get and how you interpret them, okay? So lower your hand in for me. Find the object. First question, how would you describe the temperature of that object?
Room temperature.
Room temperature,
Yeah.
good. And if you squeeze it, would you say it was sort of soft or hard or squidgy or?
Slightly plain.
Slightly
Oh,
plain,
it's
okay.
hard, yeah.
Very good. Now you're lifting it up. Is it light or heavy?
It's light.
Can you tell what it is?
Apple.
It is indeed an apple. Great. So leave the apple where it is. Bring your hand out for me, Adam. That's great. Thank you. Hand by your side again. Would you close your eyes again for me, please? Just face the front. Thank you. Good. You're doing great. This time, I'm going to cover the front of the box so none of you see what it is. So you keep your eyes close to me as well. Good. Give me just a moment. You're doing great, Adam. Okay, you can open your eyes for me. Hand on top of the box again. This time, we'll do it a little bit differently, and I would invite you to join in with this if you like. I want you to think of something in your life, Adam. I won't ask you what it is. Something that makes you feel, something that feels like it's big and getting on top of you at the moment. Feels like it's weighing you down. You think of something? Good. All right. Now, whatever you're thinking of, if you run it through in your mind like a sort of a movie, as you sort of think it through to get those feelings, you'll notice you make that movie screen up here. You make it big and on top of you, which is why it feels like that, all right? Now, if you shrink that down to the size of an iPad, and then bring that down here instead, and take a look at it there instead, Adam. Now watch the same thing, but on that little screen instead. No longer feels like it's getting on top of you, because now you're on top of it. Same thing, but a very different perspective. In fact, as you watch it there now, you can start to feel a real feeling of stability and confidence moving through you. A very different feeling as you watch it. And that can expand up into your chest and shoulders. That's good. It can feel really good as you start to feel like a giant, towering above this thing that used to feel like a problem. As you feel like a colossus, towering above this stage. Good, solid and confident, that's good. Lower your hand into the box now and look at me, fingertips. All right, just with your fingertips, find the object, just very gently. Try and keep looking at me as you do this. Find it in the middle there. First question, as you move your fingers along it, is what would you say it's made of? A guess.
Metal.
Metal, good. Now just get a sense of the shape of it, move your fingertips along it, perhaps you can tell what it is. What do you think?
Spoon.
A spoon. What sort of spoon, Adam?
Tablespoon, silver spoon.
Like a big one or a little one?
Little one.
Little like a teaspoon?
Yeah, teaspoon, yeah.
Teaspoon?
Yeah.
Great, okay, you leave that teaspoon where it is. Then look at me, just bring your hand out, leave the teaspoon where it is, bring your hand out of the box. Good, excellent, lovely. Face the front, close your eyes again for me, just close your eyes. I'll show you all the teaspoon that he was feeling. I just don't want you seeing, so do keep your eyes closed. As he was feeling confident, feeling like a giant, this was the teaspoon that he felt. All right, you're doing great, just keep your eyes closed, me, Adam, but you are doing brilliantly. I'm going to cover the front of the box again so you can't see. I'll put one more thing in there. This is a slightly trickier object to get in, so give me just a moment with this one. Yeah, on. Okay, keep your eyes closed. It's a little longer, Adam. Open your eyes for me. Hand on top of the box. This time, you're going to think of something that makes you feel warm and safe and cozy. Anything you like in life. Could be a person or a place or a memory or something that makes you feel nice and warm and safe and cozy. You got something? Okay. Whatever you're picturing there, just bring that image in a little closer. Make the colours softer and fuzzier. That's lovely. Just keep that feeling there. And look at me again. Lower your hand into the box. Very gently this time. Absolute fingertips, all right? Absolute fingertips. Find the object. And then really gently, maybe let your hand move underneath it a little. Let it move onto your hand a little. Get a sense of, would you say it's light or heavy? What would you say now?
Light.
Again?
Light.
Light, very good. Now, a more complicated shape this time, Adam. So take your time with it. You might be able to get a sense of what it is. If you take your time and feel the shape of it and the contours, what do you think it is?
Glove.
A glove?
Yeah.
What sort of glove? Like a woolly glove or a leather glove or a...
A woolly glove.
A little louder, please.
A woolly glove.
A woolly glove, great. You leave that woolly glove where it is then, please. Bring your hand out for me. Bring your hand out, very gently let it... Good, lovely. Hands by your sides, close your eyes again for me. Thank you, and I'll show you all the woolly glove that he was feeling. I just don't want you seeing again. So, perhaps we can get that. So thank you, could you take that for me? Lovely, great, thank you. Open your eyes, face the front for me, good. Clearly an odd reaction for you, I realise. Thank you. Clearly they were seeing something there that you weren't seeing, I realise that. But I'm sure your friends will explain to you what happened when you join them again. Come forward for me. Point is, you're very good at this, Adam, right? And I'd like to give you this trance state as a gift. But this is going to happen in the interval, is that all right?
Oh, yeah.
Who are you with here tonight?
My mum and my sister.
Your mum and your sister, okay. What's your mum's name?
Christine.
Christine, all right, I might talk to her in a moment. Have you got a mobile phone on you at the moment?
I do.
Okay, I'm going to take that for a moment. I will give it to your mum in just a second as well. Thank you. All right, could you sit yourself up here for me? You happy to do this in the interval, yeah?
Yeah.
Great, lovely, okay. We'll look after your mum and sister. We'll get them a drink as well. We'll make sure they're taken care of. Just swing your legs around for me. And then, yeah, and then lay back as well. So we'll check the pillows in the right place and you're comfortable and just get yourself comfy. All right, and put your legs out and good. Now sit yourself straight back up. Happy get, lovely. So, so Adam, this trance state now we're going to do, it only exists for your benefit. It's the only reason for doing this. This is a completely private and personal thing for you now. Bring your finger up for me like this. Just point your finger, good. So in a moment I'm going to touch my finger to yours. When I do, your eyes will close. You'll go back into this trance state and your trance journey will begin. Are you ready? Good. I'll see you on the other side. Excellent, Adam. That's really good. Thank you. And Adam, you can now just sleep. And as you sleep, you can drift and sink back down that staircase. As you sink deeper, everything else happens 100 miles away. And just to make sure that your experience is really kept quite separate and private and detached, we're placing a sort of cocoon around you, just to make sure that your experience is kept quite separate as you sink deeper and deeper down into that trance state. And everything else happens 100 miles away as you continue down that staircase. That's really good. So I can talk to all of you, and Adam can hear me. It just doesn't distract him as he sinks deeper down into his trance state. His mum, Christine, could you stand up for me? Where are you? Over there somewhere, I guess. Hi, Christine. So I'm going to ask you to draw a picture. There's a couple of things that are important, so please, I want you to understand this. First of all, it needs to be a drawing of something that is a real-world physical object, something you could actually touch, as opposed to just like a geometric shape or a design or something like that. Does that make sense? Okay, and if there's anything else that you just think that Adam might think that you personally would draw for some reason, then ignore that as well. All right, can you think of something suitable now? Yeah, perfect, all right. Whatever you draw, there's a guy with a pen and paper at the side there. When you've drawn it, Christine, can you write underneath what it is? Then you won't worry about how accurately you've drawn it as well. So write what it is, but don't let anybody see, including the guy with the pen and paper and none of the cameramen or anything like that either. When you've done it, remember, write underneath what it is and then seal it in an envelope. You should have an envelope there as well. Thank you, Christine. If you can go and do that for me now. Thank you. So while Christine's doing that, let me explain what's going to happen next. We're going to take an interval. If during this interval you would like to come up on stage in the second half, if you have a genuine interest in the possibility of mediumship, please bring yourself to the bottom of the steps on that side there. They will bring you up in the interval when it's safe to come up. When you do come up, take a look at Adam. He's sleeping quite soundly. And then come and sit yourself down. Did that give you enough time to draw your picture, Christine?
Yeah.
Great. Could you bring yourself up here for me? Thank you. Great. So first of all, I'm just going to give you Adam's phone. I just took off him up there, so you've got that. Thank you. And can you write your name for me? In big letters, you can lean on this if you like, but just right where you've sealed it, right across that join, so you know it can't now be tampered with, right across the joint. Thank you, Christine. Lovely, thank you. I'll put that there. Thank you, and you take his phone. Thank you. So come over here for me. Come and take a look at your son. He's sleeping quite soundly. There's a couple of things I need to ask you to do, and they're both really important, all right? First thing is, you have to keep that a secret. Now, no one saw what you drew, did they? No, great. So please keep it a secret. Don't even tell your daughter that you're with here as well. Absolute secret. The other thing is, every 2 or 3 minutes throughout the interval, can you please remember, in your head, just say to yourself, Adam, I drew a... And then whatever it is, as if you were kind of whispering in his ear what it was. But that isn't out loud. That is just silently in your head. But you must do it. Do you promise to do that, even though that sounds a bit odd? All right, lovely. Thank you. Well, there'll be an usher to take a drink order for you both, and we'll make sure you're taken care of. But thank you so much. And I'll speak to you in the second half. Thank you, Christine. So I'm hoping that while Adam sleeps, that he'll be able to intuit at some level what his mother has drawn and sealed into that envelope. That's really good, Adam. You can just continue to sink and drift down even more deeply into the sleep as you find yourself now in a beautiful garden. And as you lay on the grass, and as you feel the warmth of the grass beneath you, and then the fresh air as the breeze blows through the garden, keeping the temperature to the perfect level. And as you do this, I'm going to bring your hands up onto your chest, which will actually help you sleep even more deeply. So I'm going to bring them up here as you continue to sleep. Good. Thank you. Excellent. I just need to get to your stomach, so I'm just going to roll your t-shirt up a little as you sleep. I'm just going to bring this up here and tuck it in. Good. Thank you. Thank you. So I thought in this half of the show I would talk to you about some of my obsessions. 10 years ago, my father called me up to tell me he'd been diagnosed with cancer. And it turned out to be an early form of cancer. It was quite treatable, and 10 years later, he's fine. But at the time, I was quite shaken up by it. And I spoke to a few friends about it. And one girl that I spoke to, that I knew, said, you should take him to see the homeopath that my mum saw when she had cancer. He completely cured it. And I thought, a couple of things. First of all, I thought, yeah, your mum also had 6 months of chemotherapy, which you've just edited out of that story, but okay. And secondly, I know about things like homeopathy because they do interest me. There have been dozens of systematic reviews of all of the hundreds of tests that have been done on homeopathy over the years, proper tests. And we do know now for a fact that it doesn't work. We know that. The results are actually very clear, quite unambiguous. It doesn't work. It doesn't have any real effect. And I tried to nicely explain this to her, and she said, well, it is your dad, though. You could afford to be a bit more open-minded. Open-minded. Thank you. Stand you just there. Thank you. Stay still. Hold your hands out. Lovely. In the Philippines, if you have cancer, there's a form of treatment available to you where the surgeon, without using any instruments or any knives, uses psychic vibrations to enter the body of the patient. So you will feel, Adam, a little bit of poking here for a moment, and then all of this just happens 100 miles away. That's good. And removes from inside any cancerous tumors or demonized parts. You okay? Yeah. Thank you. Would you sit yourself back down again? Thank you. Of course, it's a conjuring trick. It's a really ugly scam called psychic surgery. And sometimes, rather like with homeopathy, sometimes people do get better, surprisingly, either because they were just going to get better anyway, or because of the placebo effect, which just means that for some people with low-level conditions, their belief that this is actually going to help is enough to create a genuine improvement, which is great for those people. But clearly not the same as saying that this is an effective treatment or something that you'd want to use instead of medicine that does actually stand up to testing, let alone anything, sadly, that's ever going to help cancer. But hey, got to be open-minded. Being open-minded, it doesn't mean just believing everything. because you'd like it to be true. Being truly open-minded is about being prepared to change your beliefs based on the evidence, or the lack of evidence. Otherwise, you can be so open-minded that your brain falls out. Hold that thought. I'm going to come back to it. Thank you, Adam. That's really great. I'm going to bring this back down now. And Adam, you can now take all the time that you need to completely and slowly wake up out of the trance. You will feel this refreshment move right the way through you, right the way to the top of your head. And when you're quite ready, you'll find that your eyes will open all on their own, and you'll be fully back with us. Take all the time that you need. Hello. Hi. Just want to sit yourself up. Take your time. Just slowly sit yourself up. Don't worry about any blood on the sheets. That's fine. Just up you go. Swing yourselves around. Just swing your legs around that way. Just pop yourself there for a moment. Let me get you some water. You've got a bit of a dry mouth. I can get a microphone as well. There you go. I haven't touched that one. There you go. Have that. Can I just get this in there? Can I just move your leg there for a bit? So look, you were great. What's it like coming out of it? It feels pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bit sort of spaced out, but it feels good, yeah? There's a bunch of people up here behind you, by the way. This is the second half of the show now. So great. Listen, one thing. Do you remember this box? We could bring this box out again from Adam. You remember you had your hand in this box before. So look, if you look through the front, it's important you look. You'll see there's nothing in there. And you can also see from the back there's nothing in the box, right? So put your hand flat on top for me, Adam. So look, there's nothing in there, right? But in a moment, you're going to lower your hand in. And as you do, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. And you will feel something inside the box. Something will come from the back of your mind down to your fingertips. You'll be able to feel it in the box. You'll be able to describe it to me. And you'll do a really good job of describing that to me. So here we go. Lower your hand in now as I count. Look at me. 1, 2, 3. There you go. 4. That's good. 5. So your first question, Adam, is this thing that you're feeling, does it feel like something living or something man-made?
Man-made.
Man-made. Okay, good. All right, so take your time with it now. I just want you to carry on just describing what sort of surface. Can you tell what it's made of? Is it like solid? Is it plastic? Is it furry? What kind of surface you're getting?
Like plastic.
Like plastic, okay.
Yeah.
Can you describe maybe its shape to me, or what you're sort of, what's it like?
Cylinder.
Okay, great.
Yeah, but not really cylinder.
Go on. So it's sort of cylindrical, sort of, yeah?
Yeah.
Go on, so keep going, keep talking me through it. What are you feeling? What are you feeling at the moment?
Spikes on the back. Or something like that.
So it's like cylindrical, but with spikes. Can you recognise it as being anything?
Feels a bit like a plane.
Oh, like an aeroplane?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
What?
like, yeah, just like a toy plane when you were a kid or something.
Okay. Well, can you find the wings? Are there wings on it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're feeling them now?
Yeah, pointy things, yeah.
And so the spike, I guess, was like the tail fin
Yeah.
of the plane. So does it point at the other end? Is there like a nose to it as well? Yeah. Can you feel windows? I mean, are you feeling like...
No.
You're not getting windows, okay, but you're getting the shape of a plane. So you've got the nose at the other end.
Yeah.
Do have a look at it as you're doing this, because it's really interesting. If you look at it, you'll see there's nothing, you know there's nothing there, I'm sure, but you can see. What's that like?
It's weird, man.
And you can all see from the back, there is nothing. You can see there's nothing in there. So is there anything else, or is it just an aeroplane?
No, I can just feel an airplane.
Okay, all right, well, why don't you leave the aeroplane mode? Just bring your hand out for us. That's great, Adam. Thank you. Yeah. So look, while you were asleep, your mum drew a picture and has been sending this to you sort of mentally, telepathically through the interval. Before we get too excited, it probably won't be an aeroplane, but there should be a good connection between the two. So it might be something to do with travel. It might be something like a car, or a lorry or a bus or something like that. We'll have a look and see what it is. But I chose your mum rather than your sister here as well, because you'll have the longest connection with your mum. So we'll see. Do you want to... Oh, Christine, you didn't tell anybody what this was, did you? No, great, okay. I'll let you have a look first, but I'm quite intrigued to see what this is. Maybe you can show the camera as well. Ooh, ah. That is absolutely spot on. Well done. Let me just show the camera again. That is an aeroplane. I'll show you back there as well. That is definitely an aeroplane. Thank you, Adam and Christine. Thank you both. It's really good. Mind how you go. Thank you so much. When we are at our most vulnerable, we do tend to stop thinking as rationally, and we tend to grasp at whatever feels like it'll give us comfort, which is fair enough, but it can be exploited. And there was a really important point, first put forward in the 18th century by a philosopher called David Hume, who said, extraordinary claims demand extraordinary evidence. And all that means is, if you are claiming something that's extraordinary, so something that flies in the face of science, like talking to the dead, for example, and you wish to be taken seriously, firstly, you have to come up with the evidence yourself to back up your own claim. It's not enough just to insist that other people have to try and disprove it, which you can never do. You can never prove that something isn't true. That's trying to prove a negative, so it wouldn't work anyway. So you've got to come up with the evidence yourself to back up your claim, and it's got to be really strong evidence because your claim is so strong. So if, for example, a magician saws a woman in half every night on stage during his show and then starts saying, that isn't a trick, I do it for real. I really do it. I take a woman, any woman, I can do it with any woman. I saw her in half, I use any saw. I pull her into two, and then I put her back together, and I heal her up, and I'm doing it for real. It isn't a trick, and he expects you to believe him. You would say, well, come on, you've got to come up with some pretty strong evidence that you're doing that for real. If you said that, and then he said, you want evidence? Come see my show. I do it every night. That doesn't count. That's not evidence. That's the very thing you're questioning, right? So you would say, well, no, that's all on your terms. Come do the same thing under controlled conditions, and then I'll absolutely believe you. That just means, you know, conditions that are fair for everybody. So if you say you can do it with any woman, we'll provide a woman. Great. If you say you can use any saw, let us provide the saw, and so on. And if you set all that up, and make it absolutely fair for everybody, and then he says, well, I'm not going to do it now because you're skeptical and the energy's all wrong, you can say, well, stop wasting our time, you big baby. So with that in mind, you're all up here because you have a genuine interest in the possibility of mediumship. I would love to show you how it is possible for me or somebody with a similar skill base to seemingly know things about people that you've known who have passed on without, and I promise you, any psychic ability, let alone any contact with the dead. Are you happy for me to do this, first of all? Yes? It won't be with all of you, it'll be with a tiny handful of you, but I hope nonetheless that you all take something from this, all right? And we don't know each other, do we? We do not know each other. For that reason, you've written down your first names on cards, which have been collected here in this bowl. So thank you so much for doing that. I'll be plucking your names out as we go along, so I don't know who I'm going to get. Thank you. And also, as we do this, I'm going to write things down on bits of paper, on cards, rather, which will get projected up onto the wall behind you. Please don't look at what I've written. I'll show you, but only after you've given your answers. And just have a quick check. It's always worth doing this nowadays, that I'm not wearing any sort of earpiece. Can you see in my ear there? Nothing there? Happy with that one too? All right, it's important you know I'm not being fed any information. Not that it would help me anyway, all right, as you'll see. Okay, with that in mind, let's begin. There is a lady stood on the stairs at the moment. About halfway up, she's got her hand on the railing. She's wearing like a pinky blue jumper with a V-neck, probably in her 50s, maybe. I'm going to ask her to come down. Yeah. Okay. She says she's coming through. She's coming through for a lady with a name begins with an R. Rian, or Rebecca. Is there a Rebecca, or is it? Are you Rebecca? Could you stand up for me? Maybe she's coming through for you. Let me just. If you can stay right there, that's fine. You can stay where you are. Let me just give you that. Could you take that back? Thank you. All right. So this is a lady in her 50s. Is there anybody that you, first of all, don't say who it is. Is there somebody you can think that this maybe could be a lady in her 50s that you would have met? It would be somebody that you would know.
Yeah.
Someone come to mind? Okay.
Oh, she gave me a name. Hang on, let me just try and get this. I'm guessing she might have been perhaps, I don't know, maybe grandmother or something like that, or, yeah. Do you know, what was your grandma's name?
Lillian.
Again?
Lillian.
Lillian. Okay, well, I sort of got Lucy and Lily, so I mean, I think this is probably her. So I think, so Lillian is, she's nodding her head. So Lillian is coming through now for you, Rebecca, so that she can say things to you through me that I couldn't know as proof that she's coming through, all right? It isn't proof, Rebecca. It isn't even the flimsiest form of evidence. It simply doesn't count because these are not controlled conditions for such a claim. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, but nonetheless, she's saying, yes. Okay. She's asking if you got the letter. She's asking, did you get the letter? Is what she's saying.
Yeah.
Obviously, this means something to you. I wasn't sure what that was. What is it? What letter is she talking about?
Before she died, she wrote me a letter. Because I was only one.
You were only one? Oh, you were little. And so she wrote it for you to read?
Yeah.
So you did get it and you did read it?
When I was 18, she gave it to my mum and said, don't let her read it until she's 18.
Then that's what she's asking about. So she's asking about this letter as partly to ask and partly as evidence that she's coming through for you, which she isn't, and you understand that. So, look, she's just taking a step back now. I think this is all we're going to hear from her. Sometimes it is so brief. So I think you can probably take a seat for me now, Rebecca. Thank you very much. Let me just take a name out of here. There's a David on top. David, stand up for me. Thank you. If there's any other Davids, feel free to stand as well. Again, if you can pass the microphone back. And forgive me, David, if nobody comes through for you. Again, same thing, all right? If no... No, the lady is for you. Sorry. Okay, this is an older lady as well, possibly. Yeah, again, maybe grandmother, perhaps. Oh, I have a name. She says, you haven't known this woman, she's saying, for quite a long time. She can remember how old you were when you last saw her. If you did go to a medium, is there anybody you would hope would come through for you?
My grandma.
Your grandma. Do you know how old you were when you last saw her?
About 12.
About 12. What was her name?
Evelyn.
Evelyn. We have her here, right? She's right here. If I think back to my grandmother, I can remember like things that happened to her. Is there something you can remember or something you were told about your grandmother, something I could ask, something that wouldn't happen to everyone's grandmother or something not everyone's grandmother would have done?
Yeah.
Okay. If you can think of that for me, I'm going to ask her to tell me something, but what I find happens in these situations is that she will tell me exactly the same thing that you're thinking of because of the connection between you two at the moment, right? So let me ask her just something that happened when you would have known her. Okay, she's telling me, and she isn't telling me anything, you understand this? I'm making this up, I'm lying to you. She's telling me, I'm going to write this down here. Okay, slow down a second, 1 second. Hang on, I'm just going to, hang on a minute. And don't look behind you because it's up on the wall, but don't look, right? I'm just going to ask her for a bit more information about this. Got it, okay. All right. Where did your mind go? When I said for you to think of something that happened, what did you think of?
A story my mum told me about my mum and my grandma when they went on holiday.
Where did they go?
They went to Gibraltar.
What happened?
Well, I think they went to Spain, but they went to Gibraltar for a day trip.
What happened?
She got bit by a monkey on Gibraltar Rock.
This is precisely what she's told me. Again, I got bitten by a monkey at Gibraltar Rock. She's heading back. I'll tell you what, I've probably just got time for one more. Oh, no, I won't. No, somebody is pushing their way forward. Okay, okay, I have a lady, there's probably quite a forthright character in life, I would think. This is a lady in her 70s, I would think, early 70s, asking for, I'm sorry, for Georgina? Is there a Georgia or a Georgina? Could you stand up for me? Thank you. So this is a lady in her 70s. I was going to just get have you got the microphone? Can we pass the microphone across? So this is a lady in her 70s. Again, have a little think. I've got a name. She's given me some information about herself. She says, could this be
grandmother as well, you're thinking?
Yeah.
She's got... How old... You may not know. Do you know how old your grandma was when she died?
I think she was 72.
And her name?
Doris.
Doris. Okay. Again, we have her here, which we don't. All right? Is there something... she's saying... I've got a few people coming up on both sides now, which is making this a little bit tricky, but I just want to focus on Doris here for a moment. She's saying she got sort of brown hair, which is probably maybe unusual for a lady in her 70s. Is that right?
Yeah.
She's not grey.
No.
Unusually, not grey hair. I can see her. She's very clearly here, which she isn't. Again, I've got people coming up on both sides. She's saying she had a dog, that you'd remember her dog.
Yes.
Is that right? You'd remember her dog, you liked her dog. People coming up on both sides. I've got a lot of people. I think anybody now that any of you were hoping to contact, I now have coming up on stage. On both sides, as well as the deceased friends and relatives of 2,000 people behind me. I also have making their way up both sides up here onto the stage. They're all talking at the same time, but I want to get this right because they're all saying the same thing. So I just want to get this right. It's obviously important because they're all saying the same thing. Okay, thank you. All right, I've got it. They are saying if they ever get the chance to communicate with the living, they promise you they will not do it through some needy showbiz performer. They promise you that. No one has the right to trample on your memories of people that you've loved. It's just disgusting. Did you know her dog's name?
Zelda.
Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you so much for letting me do this. I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to ask, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8, 9. Can you 9 just stand yourselves down here? And can the rest of you head back? Thank you so very much for letting me do that. Please give them a hand as they go back. Thank you so much. What's your name? Emma. Nice to meet you. Emma, and you are? Johnny. Emma and Johnny, let's go. Johnny, can you stand behind that table there for me? Thank you so much. Can the rest of you just gather around me here? I just need you to check something, and it's so important. I know I've said this once, but I want you to check again that I'm not wearing any kind of earpiece. Stick your fingers in, have a proper look. Go on, have a proper look. Go on. Oh, you're actually doing that. People don't normally bother. Yeah, go on, stick your fingers in, have a proper look. It's so important you know now that what's happening, that I'm doing for real, right? I'm not being fed any information. 2 years ago, I started a memorization project in anticipation of the finale of this show. I memorized 2 iconic works of British fiction. The first one I learnt was this, the complete works of Shakespeare. I learnt these, I have memorized these, this particular edition as well, pretty much word for word. So that's the first thing, complete works of Shakespeare. Any Americans in the audience? Very famous novelist. Next iconic work of British fiction are our bus timetables. I've learned number 1 to number 799, so nearly 800 bus routes. And just the routes, just the stops, not the times as well, otherwise that'd be mental. Was it Johnny as well? Was it? Johnny, thank you. So Johnny, there's a horn here which will be sounding in a minute, pressing the button at the top, a bowl of rice, and some talcum powder. So knock yourself out. I'll explain those in a minute. Can you gather yourselves around here, so you've each got a bowl in front of you. Just 4 down this side, 4 down that side. Lovely. Thank you very much. Yeah, just bring yourselves around, 4 on each side. Thank you so much. The bowls all have dice in. You have 1 die each. So if you give them a few rolls, just so you're happy they're all regular dice and so on, which they are. While you're doing that, in the audience, if you have calculators, can you please turn them on for me? Turn on your calculators. If you have an iPhone, please turn it landscape. This is really important. It'll open up the scientific mode. It means you can deal with longer strings of numbers, which you will need. Thank you, good. Next, a couple of Rubik's Cubes. We're going to hand them out on this side. If you get them, we'll maybe start towards the back. If you just mix them up and just pass them forward. Thank you so much. Would you mind taking them? Thank you. Just make sure people pass them forward when from the back. Lovely. And if you end up with them here at the front, can you stick them just sort of here on the top for me? Thank you, so I can grab them. Good. Okay, while that's going on this side, I'd like somebody to write down a 10-digit number. If somebody can write down a 10-digit number for me, please. Thank you. So, Usher, please, pen and paper. That'd be lovely. So while they're writing down a 10-digit number, we are going to use these dice to generate an 8-digit number. So basically, we'll roll them in a minute again, and I'll take a line down this side and then back up this side. So at the moment, it would go 3, 2, 2, 5, 1, 2, 5, 2 would be our 8-digit number. So pick them up for me. We're going to roll them again. This time when we roll them, though, I'm going to write whatever we get on this board up here, and you have to write this number. You have to put this number into your calculators. So get ready to type in this next 8-digit number, all right? So go on, give them one more roll. Take whatever we get this time. So the first one is 4, yes? So 4. The next one?
6.
6. Next?
3.
3.
2,
2,
6,
6. Make sure you're typing these in.
4,
4,
2,
2.
2.
Is it 2, 2 at the end? You're both 2. Yeah, lovely. 2, 2. All right, so make sure you got that. 4, 6, 3, 2, 6, 4, 2, 2. Make sure you have that typed in. Brilliant. You've generated a random 8-digit number. You've done it perfectly. You may now head back and watch the rest of the show from your seats. But thank you so much. Please give them a hand. That way, if you don't mind, our random number generators. Okay, here we go. When I was at secondary school, I was a member of the music school gang, also known as the Puff Gang, less charitably by the rest of the school. And around this sort of age, so kind of like sort of 15, 16, that kind of age, I thought that I was, really, this is sort of 15, 16. Is that the Rubik's Cube's back? It is, thank you so much. Hang on, Rubik's Cubes are back. Thank you. All right, good. Thank you for that. Yes, good, lovely. So, around that age, 15, 16, I thought that I was, / really wanted to be, Ren McCormack. Any of you know Ren McCormack? Ren McCormack was the Kevin Bacon character in the film Footloose. It was very popular at the time. It's kind of how I saw myself at that age. This kind of infamous outsider figure, earning the respect of his peers through the gift of dance. And here I am at the age of 15, rocking the sateen trousers. Hope you enjoy them. And I did have a nickname at school as well. It wasn't Ren or Footloose or anything. It was quite simply Dick Brain. Was my nickname as well. Thank you for laughing and bring it all back. And I was called Dick Brain because I could do things like a Rubik's Cube behind my back and mental maths tricks and human calculator stuff and that sort of thing. So I thought I would show you how I earned the title Dick Brain at school. So, Johnny, can you pick up the horn for me? In a minute, you are going to sound that horn. It's the button on the top. When you do, a countdown will start. So I normally do this in 10 minutes, but I'm going to try tonight to do it in 9.5, just to kind of beat my own record. The last minute will come up as a countdown on the back wall. When that countdown reaches 0, that is the end of the show. All right, there's no encore. There's no, it just finishes. That's the final moment of the show, and that gets to 0. And I think we have everything in place. The Rubik's Cubes are back. Thank you for doing that. We have a number generated by the dice. Hopefully now someone's got a 10-digit number they're hanging on to, and Johnny has the horn. Good. Okay. When I give you the signal, in a minute, nice and loud and clear. Actually, sorry, a lot of you will still be at school, or college, university even, if you are a bit of a dick brain, or you just made to feel like one every day when you go in, can I just promise you that all of those really cool kids, the sporty cool guys and the skinny pretty girls, all grew up to have the most boring adult lives and jobs, because they never had to forge their own path when they were younger. They never had to find their own way when they were little. And if you are having to do that now, it is tough. But I promise you, you grew up to have the most brilliant and creative adult life. Yeah, who ever heard of a musician or an artist who just fitted in really easily at school? Nobody. So dick brains unite, yes? Okay, thank you. Johnny, sound the horn on the count of 3. I was going to... Sorry, put it down. That's fine, thank you. Put it down. Okay, first dick brain trick. Don't look at them, but it's the numbers behind me on the board, the 8-digit number. Don't look at them. Look at me for a minute. Can you remember the 8-digit number generated by the dice without looking at them? Okay, you can look at them now. The number is 463-26422. Backwards, 22462364. Most of it would have always to alternate, so give me a big shout if this is right. First, last, second in, third in, I'll end up in the middle. It goes 4, 2, 6, 2, 3, 4, 2, 6. Yes? Yes, thank you so much. Jesus. Thank you. Next dick brain trick is the memorize bus route. So look, these first 3 digits of our 8-digit number will give us the bus route, all right? 463. Do you want to look it up? It's in the blue book. 463. Now, you do not have a 463 round here, or at least not one that I know. 463 I'm doing here is near London. Can you stand in front of the mic for me with it, please? So if I get this right, just shout out nice, clear yes into the mic. The first stop of 463 bus route is Coulsdon South Station, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. And I have done this. So here's how you can do it. And by the way, you can feign enthusiasm if you like, Johnny. I've learned 800 of these. Here's how you can do it. You link pictures together. You turn everything into a picture that you can visualize, and you link it to the next thing. So you have to turn the number into a picture as well. So that's a little bit more tricky. You do it by turning each digit into a letter. And then you make a word out of the letters. So 4, I use an R, because there's an R at the end of 4, right? I use an R. 6, I use a P, because it looks a bit like a P sort of on its side, like a P. And 3, I use an M, because it looks like a 3 on its side, right? So you've got RPM. You make a picture from that, either by adding vowel sounds to make a word, or I just use a record player, because it's RPMs, right? So my image that gives me the first bus stop is a record player, but as it's going round, it's making a fan move. It's sort of operating a fan that is cooling. It's cooling like a little den, like a work den in a station, right? This is a weird image, but it gives me cools, den, station, right? It gives me Coulson Station, which is the first stop. Now, to continue, I just continue with this story in my head. I link to the next image. Nicholas Lyndhurst from Only Fools and Horses, the actor, walks out of the station and down the road. Next stop is Lyndhurst Road, yes? Yeah. Yeah, and he walks out to a big clock tower, which is being mounted by some animals. That's it, isn't it? It's Clock Tower Farm, but it's a place called The Mount in Clock Tower Farm.
No.
Pardon?
No.
Clock Tower Farm, The Mount.
It's close.
Clock Tower Farm, The Mount. That is what it is. What does it say?
Clock House Farm.
Clock House Farm, The Mount. All right, sorry, okay. All right, then he goes up to it and he paints it green. Woodcote Green is the next stop.
Yep.
Yep, I'm just going to rattle through these now. Shout yes for each one that's right, okay? It goes Wallington Station, Forecourt.
Yep.
Wallington Green.
Yep.
Beddington Church.
Yep.
Beddington Asda.
Yep.
Beddington Lane, Jessop's Way.
Yep.
Mitcham East Station.
Yep.
The Wide Way.
Yep.
Finishing at Pollard's Hill at 6:28 in the morning?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much. I've done this, all right. Good, thank you. All right, next one. Next is how you apply this. So, here's how you apply it. Pick up the book for me. This is The Complete Works of Shakespeare. Turn to page 264. They should teach this stuff in schools, because it's exactly what you need when it comes to regurgitating information, which is what we need for exams, sadly, nowadays, right? I knew this stuff when I was little, and I don't mean to show off, but I got one of the top marks in the year in the country for English A-level precisely by using this technique. Have you got it? Page 264?
Yeah.
All right, so first word on that page. Have a look at it for me. The first word on page 264 is... First word is the word hearts.
Yeah.
Yes. If I can see it, it goes hearts, comma, and hymen did our hands, new line, unite, co-mutual with most sacred bands.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. I have done this for real. Actually, go to another page. Just do another page. Got a bit of time. Just give me any other page. What have you got? What are you looking at? What are you looking at?
453.
453, just look at page 453. Top one on the page, I'll just give it to you quickly. Is the word 453, birds?
Yeah.
Let me give you the last one on the page. Just quickly get the last one on the page is... Birds, my fairy lord, this must be done with haste for nights from dragons. Horses!
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll let your head now. Thank you very much. Johnny, that way if you don't mind. Johnny, everybody, thank you so much. Please, you're enjoying it. Next is the rice. This is a bit of a weird one. The rice, right, 22. I have to pluck out 22 grains of rice from the bowl in one go. Okay, so just to explain, if I got home early from school, my parents were still at work, I'd go next door to Auntie Gwen's house, used to call her Auntie Gwen, and I'd ask to play with the rice. And she'd bring out like this big bowl of rice, or a big jar of rice rather. She'd be in the kitchen, she'd call out numbers, and I'd have to pluck out that number of grains of rice in one go. I got really good at it. And then I stopped doing it because of the whole dick brain thing, right? But years later, when I was coming up with ideas for this show, I thought you might want to see this. So, for your entertainment, I will pluck out 22 grains of rice from the bowl, not 21, not 23, ladies and gentlemen, but 22 grains of rice from the bowl in one go. All right, so dick brain facts about 22. There are 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet. There are 22 cards in the tarot deck. Joseph Heller wrote the book Catch-22 in 1961 and became a popular film in 1970. Was top of the cinema charts for 5 weeks. Paul Weller wrote the album called 22 Dreams, which contained 22 songs, including one called 22 Dreams. So there you go, some dick brain facts. About 22. I do have to talcum powder my hands, otherwise the rice just, kind of sticks. I don't have any control at all. I'm a little bit sick of hearing people say, oh, you just had the rice there and you've just put in the rice in your hand. So, could somebody stand up here just so you can verify this is just talcum powder? Can you see that?
Yeah.
That's all that is. I'm not putting any rice in my hands. Are you happy with that? It's just so the rice doesn't stick. Yes? Yeah, lovely. Okay, thank you. Good. All right, so 22. 22 grains of rice from the bowl. Okay, here we go. Come on then. Come on, 22 grains of rice. Come on. Come on, come on. Do it for mummy. Here we go. 22 grains of rice from the bowl. Here we go. 22 grains of rice from the bowl. 20... got one wrong. Got one wrong. I'm one out. Let me just move the bowl so you can see them. I'm one out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm one out. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. There it is. 22 grains of rice. Thank you, Auntie Gwen. Good. Thank you so much. Thank you. Next is the human calculator. Human calculator, adding up numbers faster or as fast in my dick brain as you can on a calculator. Somebody got a 10-digit number now. Is there an usher with that person? Can you give me a wave if you've got a torch? Lovely. Hopefully you've got a microphone as well. So can this person, you're going to call out your 10-digit number in a moment. Now, you all have this number in your calculators, 463-26422. Press plus. You're about to add to this number, generated by the dice, a 10-digit number written by somebody in the audience. All right? So when you get this, type it one digit at a time, then press equals, so you add them on your calculators. I'm going to add them in my dick brain. Here we go. First number, please. Go, nice and clearly. Off you go.
7.
7. Next.
9.
9. Make sure you're all getting these.
2.
2. Keep going.
9.
9 again.
9.
9.
9.
9. Here we go.
7.
Oh, okay. 7.
2.
2. Yep.
4.
4. Last one.
6.
6. Press equals. The total is 7,976,323,668. Am I right? Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. Good. Thank you. Next. I just run out of time. I did the extra page in the book. That's my fault. Okay, I was showing off. No, I can't do 2 Rubik's Cubes behind my back in a minute, so I will do 1 Rubik's Cube. Maybe not this one. I'll do the other one. Whoever did these is a fucking sociopath, you can tell. Okay, but behind my back, all right? Behind my back there. Here we go. Behind my back. 1 Rubik's Cube behind the back. Here we go. Went to see Derren Brown.
30 seconds.
How was he? Yeah, he was all right. What was his big finale? He did a Rubik's Cube. What a dick brain. Yes, he was, actually. It's funny you should say that. 1 red cross there, green cross at the bottom, L shape there,
20.
red L shape, that's it. Done? Yes? Yes? No, I have.
10.
I have. Look,
9.
I've matched
8.
that side to that
7.
side. Can you see that?
6. 5.
And I've matched that
4,
side to that side,
3,
and that side to that
2,
side, and that side to that side, and those two match there, and those two match there. That's how a dick brain does a Rubik's Cube. I'm a dick brain. I'm Derren Brown. Good night. She's coming back through. Amanda, love, stand up, grab the microphone, love. Your grandma, she's come back for the end of the show, so I need a nice clear yes or no from you, right? It's going to be loud and clear. She's saying, I need a yes or no from you. Your phone number, is it... Oh. Is your phone number, is it... Oh, is your phone number 07976 323668?
Yes.
Yeah, fuck me, I'm real. Good night.
Tonight, a small, specially invited audience will be joining me in a secret location in London for a one-off special live performance.
Where are we going? Where are we going?
Everyone's in blacked-out coaches, so they can't see where they are. And at the moment, one of those blacked-out coaches is arriving that bears our celebrity quota for the evening.
Where the fuck are we?
The other coaches, which are slightly grubbier and don't have power steering, contain the ordinary people, the non-celebrities. And I've invited people who I know are interested in my works, so there are psychologists, hypnotists, salesmen, one or two psychics, some magicians, even some cabbies. And I've also invited some students as well, as I do tend to do this around universities sometimes, and students tend to respond quite well, so I've invited some of those along too. Enjoy it. Okay, it's time to start. None of them know where they are. Let's bring down the house lights. Good evening. Very nice to see you all. Thank you for coming. Obviously, a show like this is going to involve a certain amount of audience participation, so I thought I'd get rid of that whole awful embarrassment factor. Now, Jean-Christophe Novelli, you're sat a couple of rows back, couple in from the aisle. Would you stand up for me, sir?
You have to stand up. Oh, no.
Stand up for me, Jean-Christophe, please. Stand up. Jean-Christophe, thank you. Please listen carefully. If you look over to the left-hand side of the stage for me, you'll see a tall table, and on top of the table is a stuffed kitten. Can you see that, Jean-Christophe?
Yes, I do, yes.
Excellent. What I would like you to do for me is to go and get the kitten.
Oh, no.
Hang on.
No. It's my night off.
Listen carefully. I'd like you to go and get the kitten off the table. I don't want to embarrass you in front of 200 people, of course. No. So I'd like you to try and get the kitten without anybody seeing you. Go on, off you go.
Please, I don't know. It's my night off.
Right, I think I can see you. Take the kitten back to your seat for me, Jean-Christophe. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. All right, listen carefully. In a moment, I want you to throw the kitten backwards, over your shoulder, into the audience. Not yet. This will then select a random volunteer. Of course, this means everybody behind Jean-Christophe will now pretend they don't exist. If the kitten comes at you, you just catch it. Jean-Christophe, throw it backwards now into the audience. Go, over your head. Throw it for me. Whoever that's nearest, pick that up for me. Jean-Christophe, you can now sit down. Thank you very much indeed. Whoever's got the kitten, will you please stand? Excellent. What's your name, madam?
Jeannie.
Jeannie, very good to meet you, Jeannie. Jeannie, first of all, we have never met before, ever. I have prepared nothing with you, correct?
I don't know who you are.
Excellent. Well, thank you for coming. Jeannie, if I was to ask you to name any country in the world, all right, now don't name maybe France or England or even America, maybe they might seem a little bit obvious. And bearing in mind, you can change your mind as many times as you like. What would you say?
Africa.
Africa. Excellent. Well, that's kind of what I hoped. It tells me that you are clearly sharp enough to try and keep me on my toes, yet you're not going to try too hard to catch me out, and that you have massive emotional damage. Jeannie.
How right you are.
Jeannie, it would be a little bit ambitious of me at this point to try and control your choice of any country in the world, but I think I can control your choice of one of three shapes. If you look in the center of the stage, you'll see a board with three shapes mounted on them. Can you see that?
Yes.
Excellent. In a moment, Jeannie, I will ask you to name one of those three shapes. I think I know in advance which one of those shapes you're going to choose. So I will give you 3 seconds of silence, and during that time, I want you to make up your mind and choose one of the shapes. Whatever you say, Jeannie, I will take as your absolute final decision, and I will not let you change your mind. Is that clear?
Okay. Yes.
All right. And you'll notice, by the way, I haven't tried to attract your attention to one shape more than the others. I'm sure you'll agree everything is fair and square. Here are your 3 seconds. Your 3 seconds of silence starts now. 1, 2, 3. I will not let you change your mind, is that clear? Which shape would you like?
Triangle.
The triangle. Right, would you like to change your mind? A free choice. Yes?
Yes.
All right, here's what I want you to do. Leave the kitten with the person next to you. I'd like you to walk down onto the stage and stand next to the microphone. That's just next to the board with the shapes on it. Give Jeannie a big hand as she heads up on stage. Thank you. The mic is just to the right of the shapes. If you can just stand so you're facing the audience, lovely. Now, Jeannie, just behind that board with the shapes on, there's a card table. Will you just pick the brick up off the card table, please? Thank you very much. Pick it up, and then with your other hand, I need you to pick up the black envelope that's just there. Pick up the black envelope that's just on the card table. Thank you. And then put the brick back. Thank you. All right. So, take the envelope that was under the brick, take it to the microphone. I'd like you to undo it for me and take out what's inside. A folded sheet of paper. Good. If you can undo the folded sheet of paper for me. And Jeannie, I would like you, please, in your nicest, clearest voice, to read out what it says right from the top of the page. Nice and clearly, please. Off you go.
Okay, Derren. But before I start, may I just say how much I've enjoyed the recent series?
Oh, Jeannie, that is so sweet of you. Thank you so much. That's lovely. You can read a little quicker if you like.
If my abilities are well honed tonight, you will be a tall, well-dressed and sexually attractive lady.
I do apologise.
Upon being asked to choose a shape, there is only one shape you can choose. That shape will, of course, be the triangle. However, what will really bug you is how I also knew that you would choose the country Africa.
Africa it was. Jeannie, back to your seat. Keep it going for Jeannie. Head back to your seat, Jeannie. Thank you very much. Thank you enormously. Thank you very much indeed. That is excessively kind of all of you. Thank you very much indeed. And thank you for bearing with our arrangements this evening. Just do be careful when gasping tonight. We do have some quite bad asbestos problems in this room we can't do very much about. Everything I do before you tonight, I do unaided. I've purposely chosen quite a big open spaces so you know there's not anybody hiding, holding up things or giving me any information. Equally, I'm not wearing any earpieces or anything like that. We'll get you to check, please. No earpiece. Check that for me. Nothing there? Happy?
Nothing.
Sure? Nothing there?
No.
Do you check?
Nothing at all.
Sure? Okay, great. Thank you. I stand before you naked. Apart from this rather nice suit and 2 pairs of pants. So, with that gently arousing image in our minds, let's choose one of you at random, see how it goes from there. So let's throw the kitten again. Where is it at the moment? Should be somewhere around Jeannie. Give it a good throw anywhere you like, Jeannie. Excellent. I think that's you. Would you stand up for me? What's your name, please?
Henrietta.
Henrietta. Henrietta, why don't you leave the kitten where it is and head up for me? Henrietta, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Very nice to meet you. Come over here for me. I'm just going to bring the mic forward for you and ask you to stand right there, Henrietta. Thank you so much for coming up. I'm going to suggest a little game you might like to play. If you take out what's in there, there's nothing else in there. Would you take it out as well? Empty? Yep. And just say into the mic what that is nice and clearly for me.
Oh, it's a lovely cheque for £1,000.
A cheque for £1,000, ladies and gentlemen. A cheque for £1,000. It's exciting already, isn't it? Could you also take out what's in the other one here? And again, as you take that out, please check there's nothing else in there. Empty?
Yep.
Yes? That is a picture of a
parrot.
A parrot? Absolutely right. This is not any parrot. This is my parrot. This is Figaro the parrot. He is delightful. This picture will serve as a consolation prize for you, should you not win the money.
Okay.
Let me ask you just to face that way for me. I don't want you seeing now which is which, all right? And while you look the other way, can you close your eyes for me as well? I'm very aware that there are some big shadows up there on the wall. Please close your eyes while I mix these up. And you'll keep track of which is which, yes? All right. While your back's turned, please no looking, keep your eyes closed. I will show you all the envelope that I will make Jeannie pick. Just so you're all that one step ahead. Okay? This one here. This one. Jeannie, you can turn back round now for me. Jeannie, you can turn around now. I'm so sorry, it's not Jeannie, is it?
No.
Henrietta. You can turn, yes, thank you, turn around. Henrietta, Going to put this over here.
Okay.
And this one over here. You'll love this game. All you've got to do is... Actually, I got confused then. Let me just check. Good. All you've got to do is choose an envelope. If you choose the one with the check in it, I will make that out to you. I'll write it out, sign it. You can have it. No embarrassment. The money's yours. All right? My task is to somehow try and influence you to choose the envelope that does not contain the check. So for £1,000, do you want to go for that one, or do you want to go for that one which you're sort of slightly looking in that direction anyway? It does make it a little bit easier to point at.
That one.
You want to go for that one? A wise decision. A superb choice. Thank you very much indeed. You're under a lot of pressure. There's cameras and lights and so on, so I will give you the rest of the show to change your mind if you like.
Okay.
Just so you don't feel manipulated or pressurised in any way, okay? That's for you for later. Please don't open it yet. For now, Henrietta, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll ask you to go and sit back down. Henrietta, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Excellent, thank you, Henrietta. Let's get a guy and a girl up here, so let's throw the kitten again over your shoulder any way you like. There's our random person. Oh, straight. Reese. Yes. Reese just missed. Stand up for me, thank you. Would you throw that again for me? Get a lady up here too. Great, stand up for me there. What's your name?
Debbie.
Debbie and Reese, would you both come up? Let's give them both a big hand. Down you come. Thank you very much indeed. Oh, I'm going to put you over here, if that's all right. Just stand right there for me. Turn and face me. Thank you so much. Reese, Debbie, hello. Would you go and stand by the mic for me? I'm just going to talk to Debbie for a second. Please stand there. Don't run off or touch anything. Good. Debbie, face the front for me. I'd like you, please, you're going to think of the surname or the name of someone that you knew when you were young.
Okay.
All right, I will tell you this person's name. All right? Now, again, as for all of you, I have prearranged nothing with you. I haven't met any of you before, correct? Have you got somebody in your mind?
Yeah.
I will tell you this person's name. It is the surname I'm going to go for. Christian names are a little easier to stumble across sometimes. So it's the surname I'm after. If you know it's like Smith or Brown or something like that, please do change it for something not so immediately common. Equally, if it's a very long name, more than 6 or 7 letters, again, change it. Are you happy with what you've got? Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So you just say the surname to yourself over and over again, please. Just keep repeating that in your mind. Nothing out loud. Don't move your lips. Just keep saying it to yourself. Thank you. All right. Reese, I'm going to... is there a double meaning in it, the surname?
No.
Like a word within the word?
Oh, yeah.
Just focus on the image a little clearer, make it as bright and vivid. Genuinely, please do this for me, as you can. If you imagine the name itself is written in the air, we'll get you to write this down. This will help lock it in your mind. Also means if we need to, we can prove what you were writing off, so people don't think you're just going to say yes to help me out, but obviously don't let me see this, so it does take the challenge out of it somewhat. So just the surname, please. Large, clear, block capital letters. Great. Done that?
Yeah.
Great. If you can fold up the bit of paper for me again, Debbie. All folded up?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, can I take the pen back off you? Just the pen, not the bit of paper, thank you. Just for the record, though, if you just hold the bit of paper, I won't look, but you cannot see through the paper. Cannot read any writing or see any letters through the paper, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, great, thank you very much. You can hang on to that, just put that in your pocket or hang on to it for me, that's great. All right, face the front for me. Stay right there, just keep thinking of the name. I'm going to ask you, Reese, you're going to draw something for me. Right. All right, put your hands by your sides for a second. Now, if ever you see a psychic attempt this, not this, obviously there's nothing psychic about that, that's just fingers. My fingers are bending. Everybody, 1, 2, 3. They're, no, please. They are relying, please. They are relying on you drawing something familiar or predictable.
Right.
So, Reese, your task here is to, try and catch me out a little bit. Draw something you don't think I could just guess.
Right.
All right. So please, don't draw a house. Don't draw a stick man. All right. Okay. Please don't draw a penis.
Right.
It's not that look in his eyes, but something that you can draw clearly and vividly. Don't go overboard on detail. Try and keep it relatively simple.
Right.
Got something?
Absolutely.
All right, great. I'm going to give you a pen and paper to do that for me. When you've drawn it, you draw it nice and big and clear. You hold it up against yourself like this so nobody can see. But you stare at the easel and you imagine that picture that you've drawn is on there. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
All right, so do that for me now, nice and large and clear. Don't let anybody see. When you're done, hold it up against yourself. Okay. All right. Face in the front for me. 2 rules. The first rule is this, Debbie. You need to look at something that you can focus on comfortably. The lights might be a bit bright up there, but just pick something that you can focus on and just look at for me. All right, second rule is this. Let me just get that hair there. All right, second rule is this. You just think of the name. You just say the name to yourself over and over again. Or if I ask you to think of a letter in the name, you just think of that letter over and over again. All right, it means if you get nervous or flustered, you can just bring your mind back to that letter or back to the words. So let's start with a letter somewhere in the middle. If you can just think of a letter somewhere in the middle of this name for me. Have you got one? Okay, so just looking out there, you don't even need to say yes for me, just keep thinking of the name. Actually, I may not be able to do this with you. I may frustratingly need to send you back. Was that an N? It was?
Yeah.
Excellent, okay, well maybe this will work. Then can you think of another one, maybe at the end somewhere? Got one? Or you flick it, S?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, all right, I'm going to use you. Let's keep, can I put your hair behind your ears, is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm just going to bring your hair around like this. Okay, Reese, keep hold of that. Make sure I don't see it. Just keep it up against yourself. I want you staring, please, at the card on the easel, imagining that picture's there. You're doing great, Reese. Thank you. All right. I'm going to try and make you say the name out loud. You must not say it. You say nothing at all. Don't even say a word until I tell you what I think it is. And then you can say yes or no or freak out or whatever. But until that point, you say nothing, all right? And whatever you do, do not say the name, okay? So what is it? What is it? Okay, plosive sound at the beginning. You can see it. Plosive sound at the beginning. So that could be like a B or a P or something. Careful. A B at the beginning, I think. Please be careful. Don't give anything away. All right, so we've got a B at the beginning. Just keep saying it to yourself over and over again. Nothing, don't move them. Barnes, B-A-R-N-E-S, yes?
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much indeed, Debbie. Thank you so much. Debbie, ladies and gentlemen, let's you go back. Well done, Debbie. Thank you so much. Well done, Debbie. Thank you very much indeed. All right, don't let me see the drawing. Put the whole thing in the envelope for me. The whole thing in the envelope. Just drop it in for me. Drop the whole thing in, please don't let me see it. If any of you see it, please don't say anything. I'd like you to head over to the mic for me. Thank you. All right. So, Reese, I lied to you. All right, I lied to you because I told you that by not drawing all of those things that we do tend to draw, like houses and stick men, that it makes it more difficult. It doesn't. It makes it easier. Because it means that instead of drawing all those kind of things, you end up sort of going into yourself a little bit and drawing something that reflects a side of you, or your emotional state, or your response to being here, or any of those things, personal things. So the question is, what can we tell about Reese just by looking at him? You're obviously going to be clearly very confident as a performer, of course you are, so what you've drawn will tend to reflect a kind of a friendly, relaxed thing rather than a kind of aggressive or pointy thing. It's immediately the first thing I'd say. I think also whatever it is, you'll decorate it, you'll do something to it that will make it that little bit more, because this is what you're like. It'll be something that, okay, I've got to face the front, I've got an idea. Friendly and soft. Just keep facing the front. Don't look. Keep facing out the front for me. I'm going to go for this. Please don't look. No looking. Don't look, Reese. But there'll be something else to it, and I think it'll be probably that. All right. Do not look, Reese, but I'd like you to... Oh, you know what? I'm going to change it. I'm going to change it. Don't look. Oh, God. It's going to be something, either that or it's the little details. I'm not sure. There'll be some little detail. All right, Reese. Into the microphone, nice and clearly. What did you draw?
Cat.
A cat?
Yes.
Wait, hang on. Any details?
Stripy cat.
Stripy cat! Oh, it was the... Show me. Show me what you got. Show me. Oh, I'm going to give myself that. It was the first one. Reese, look, I'll show you. I got rid of it, but I did do that one first. Thank you very much indeed, Reese. I'll let you get back. Reese Shearsmith, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Okay. All right, Henrietta, where are you? Stand up for me. Henrietta, so it was this one there that you chose, yes?
That one.
That one over there. I'm so sorry, my mistake. Let me mark them so there's no confusing which is which. Put a little sticker on this so we all know this is the one that Henrietta would like. Okay? Although you may now think, Henrietta, of course, that I'm trying to attract your attention over this side by putting a sticker here and no sticker on the other side. So I'll put a little sticker on the other side, a different sticker, just so you all know this is the one that Henrietta does not want. Of course, the idea, Henrietta, is to ignore me completely, all right? Don't get stressed, don't get cross, and just go for whatever feels right. Would you like to change your mind? No. No?
No.
Fair enough. Sit down then for me, come back to you later. Let's get a face up here that we would know. Krishnan, could I ask you to stand up for a second? Thank you very much. And let's... yeah, actually, I think you'd be absolutely perfect. Would you head up here for me? Krishnan, ladies and gentlemen, up you come. Just head around here for me. Just to come and stand right there for me, right there. Excellent. Okay, thank you very much. Excellent, just turn and face me. Thank you very much. Krishnan, look at me just for a second and just relax there and just sleep down there for a second. As you do this, you just need to focus on me for a second. I'm not really going to hypnotize you. All I'm going to do is just placing you into a state where you can really focus and concentrate on what I'm doing. So as you do this, and just listen to my voice right there in the center of your head and take a moment just to carry on sinking and drifting They're just floating down so you can really understand what I'm telling you, so these words really make sense to you. Here's what you're going to do. I want you to think of a phone number that you know. Don't say anything out loud, but please, Christian, obviously don't go for your own phone number or one of anyone that's very close to you, anything that you think I could know or have found out. So take a moment to just go through different numbers in your mind and then just find one and settle on one. Okay, I'm going to do this slightly differently with you, I think. I think I'd like you just to pick 2 digits from that phone number. They don't need to be next to each other, just get them in your head, good. And just lock those in your head for me, good, I can see you've done that. Lovely, focus on those 2 for me. And what I want you to do now, Christian, and irrespective of what you've believed up to this point, you can absolutely believe for me now that you can take those thoughts, those numbers, and send them from your mind into somebody else's. And I know then that you will enter into this with concentration and imagination, and that is all that I ask you to do. So here's what I'd like you to do now. Just take a few seconds just to very slowly reorientate yourself back to this room. And when you're quite ready, I'd like you to open your eyes. And stand up straight again. I'll take your hand, put it down there. You all right? Mm-hmm. Excellent, thank you very much. All right, I'm going to get you to write those numbers down, I think, so they don't come out of your head. And again, if we need to, we can prove that really is what you were thinking of, if anybody doubts you later on. All right, please do that now. Again, I will look the other way. Obviously, don't let me see. Don't let anybody in the audience see either. Don't you think anyone could see and then let me know. This is entirely private just for you.
Okay.
Done that?
Done.
Just fold a bit of paper up, please.
Yep.
Again, I make this point, it's very important, because if I'm going to get you to write it down, you need to know I can't see it. We just hold it in your hand. You cannot see through there.
No.
You cannot see what number's written. All right? Then put it in your pocket, please, and you can get it out of the way. That's great. Okay. All right, here's what I want you to do. We're going to choose a lady, actually, to come up here with you. So let's just do this first. Where's the kitten at the moment? Kitten's up there. Great. Will you throw it? I will take the nearest lady, so wherever it lands, we'll just pass it to the nearest lady. Give it a throw, any way you like. Actually, let's give it another throw as well, just to get it out of this central block. And also, that's my mother, so that would be... Great, stand up for me. What's your name?
Charlie.
Charlie, very good to meet you. Why don't you leave the kitten there and head up here. Charlie, ladies and gentlemen, come and sit in the chair there for me. Thank you very much indeed. Charlie, if you just take a seat over there for me. Excellent, and put your feet flat on the floor. Great. Face the front for a moment, then look up at me. Take a deep breath in, and then sleep. And just sink right the way down and right the way deep. And right the way sound asleep. Again, still hearing, understanding everything that I do. And again, I'm not really hypnotizing you. I'm synchronizing you over here with Christian. So this will allow it to work. So as you do this for me, I want you to remain in that state. But at the same time, I'm just going to sit you back a little bit in the chair. And you can let this even relax you even more because you can become more comfortable. Good. As you stay there for me, I'm going to place a blindfold on you. So you know that Charlie is not going to receive any clues that she shouldn't, any visual clues. So I'm going to put this on you. I know I'm going to catch all your hair up, but it will only be for a second. Okay, I'm also going to give you a whiteboard and a pen. And what I'd like you to do for me, just for a moment, I'll just give you this to hold. So you're going to hold that there, it's a whiteboard, and that there. Also going to give you a pen. Please mind your fingers on the nib. I'll just give it to you like that. You're going to place that against the board like that for me. Perfect. All right, Charlie, let me explain what I want you to do. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to start counting out loud, backwards, from 500. You don't have to go all the way to 0, and it doesn't matter if you lose track. You can just carry on from wherever feels right. But what's important is that as you do this, as you count out loud, you're just going to allow the pen to move at the same time. So in other words, you're consciously focusing on the counting, but unconsciously you're letting your hand write whatever it's going to write, okay? So you only focus on the counting, but you must keep the pen moving and writing, drawing, scribbling, whatever. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay, don't start yet. You'll start when I tell you to, all right? Stay there for a second for me. Krishnan, if you could just face the front for me. You've got 2 digits in your head. You're going to send these 2 digits across to Charlie. Take a moment just to turn and look at Charlie. And then look back there again. And I want you to start sending those 2 numbers just in your head. You say nothing out loud. Start sending them now. Charlie, start counting now out loud. 500, out loud.
500,
499, 498. Keep counting. Start the pen moving. You're sending those 2 numbers across now. So in your mind, you're sending them across the stage, starting to turn up the volume. Keep the pen moving. Keep the pen moving, Charlie. Moving. And 496, 495, 494. Keep counting. One and then the other, over and over and over again, until you're turning up the volume so loud that it's as if you're screaming the matter. Screaming like you want to pick her up and shake them. Keep going. Keep counting. Keep counting. Screaming the matter in your mind what those numbers are. Over and over again and over again. Then both of you stop right there. Both of you stop. Okay. I don't want you seeing what she wrote. I'm going to ask you just to face this way for a second, Krishnan. Please don't look. All right, just keep those 2 numbers in your head for a moment. Okay. All right, I'm going to take the pen off you. Just let that hand just relax on your lap. And put the hand on the lap as well. All right, okay. If you see a number here, please don't Please don't say anything. I can sort of see one, and I'm not sure about this one here. Let the camera see that too. I would say, and you've got to help me out if you think I'm wrong, but please don't say anything out loud. This one here is probably that. Would you go with that? We've got that first. So can you guys see that too? The second one could be twice that, or there is a sense of it being that as well. Yeah? You think that as well? Okay. Would you go with that? Can you guys see over there as well? Yes? Okay. Just going to give you this to hold. And that there as well. Okay, I think I'm just going to write these up on the board just so you guys can all see what we're looking at. We're looking at one of those, pretty much definitely, and then either that or maybe that. Yep. Christian, please, no peeking. Face the front for me. This may not work. Let me get you the mic. Stay right there. This may not work. All right, Christian, you were trying to send 2 numbers across there, okay? Without looking at what she's written, what was the first... Actually, what was the second number you were trying to send? 5. Okay, we'll allow ourselves that. And what was the first number? 4. Then you got it absolutely spot on. Christian, thank you so very, very much. Hang on a second, Sorry.
There's something even weirder, which is the telephone number that has come from is somebody called Charlie.
Really? Who can explain these things? Thank you very much indeed. Christian, ladies and gentlemen, back you go. Thank you so much. And let me just take this off. You take a few seconds just to come back. You all right? You back with us? Refreshed? That you did get it? You pretty much got it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Charlie, ladies and gentlemen. Back you go. Well done, Charlie. All right, something I'd like you all to do for me, please. Put your feet flat on the floor. And then take a look up at the light up there in the center. If you can all just do that for me and get comfortable. I would invite you, as you look up at that light, just to notice, first of all, that you're breathing. As you relax, your breathing will become a little more regular, a little heavier, and that's fine. And also that you'll begin to notice your eyelids getting a little bit heavier. And I would invite you, as you look up there at the light, just to begin to let your eyelids get heavy. Now, if you don't want to do this, it's fine. You just keep your eyes open, and that'll be absolutely fine too. I'd invite you to let them grow heavy and just close quite comfortably so that I can talk to you at a level that you can really kind of understand what I'm saying. Now, the reason why I'm doing this, and the reason why I'm asking you kind of to relax and to focus and just experience in this way for a moment, is because all the way through this show up to this point, there's something that I've been doing. I've been dropping little things in to make you forget the show when you leave at the end. I'm just letting you know this now so you're not too alarmed. It won't work on all of you, but those of you that have the best gift for picking up on this kind of thing will find that when you leave, you won't be able to remember anything in the show. Your memory of the show will go as soon as you walk out of this door. And it is, for the moment, a little bit like walking down a staircase, isn't it? And sort of relaxing a little more with each step that you take and sinking right down into it. But I'm going to count you back. When I say 0, you can open your eyes. You'll be absolutely fully back here listening to me, of course. I'm not hypnotizing you. I'm just talking to you at a level that you can really understand what I'm saying. So, from 5, 4, don't open them till 0. It makes it easier. 3, 2, 1, 0. You can open your eyes, and of course, you're absolutely wide awake as you've been throughout that whole thing. Lovely. Good. So, a slightly weird thing was happening. When I was inviting you all and sending your invitations out and kind of working out who was going to come, I wanted to make sure that you kind of covered a fair sort of part of London, like a big sort of range of London. And I ended up going through the A to Z as I was sending them out just to make sure that I was, covering all areas of the map. And inadvertently, I realized that I was remembering the grid references of where you live in the A to Z. So in other words, I realized that when I knew your streets, I would also know your grid references, or if somebody told me the grid reference, I'd be able to get your streets. So I just want to try this as a kind of a memory exercise. If you are happy for us to say the street that you live on, and you live in London, I mean sort of Greater London, this is the big A to Z I was using. Will you just put your hand up for me? I'd love to just try this. Just put your hand right up. Okay, great. Now, whoever's got the kitten, you need to just throw it out to somebody. Keep your hands up for me. Just, it's going to be somebody's got their hands up. Great. I think that's going to be you then. Would you stand up for me? Okay, all right. And again, just to reiterate, so you don't think anyone's helping me, please, you're welcome to take a look around the back. No one's going to be holding anything up to help me. And again, please, no earpiece or anything like that. Do check for me. Nothing in there? Nothing in there? And nothing in there? Sure. All right. It's just important this is just me doing this. All right. So, what's your name?
Masood.
Masood, okay, you can put the kitten down. You look slightly silly, so that's good. Masood, will you just tell me then, just tell me the road that you live in. I don't want to know what area of London it is or anything like that. Just tell me the road, the street name.
Harbridge Avenue.
Harbridge Avenue. Is that H-A-R?
Yes.
B-R-I-D-G-E, yes? Harbridge Avenue. Great. I'm going to pass you an A to Z. Okay, I'd like to get this up there. So if you can pass that up to Masood. You can just start looking it up. If you do find it, please don't let anybody see where you are on the map. I think I can tell you, if you're looking it up in the index, I think I can tell you it is it's square 7B on page 100, I think. Can you go to page 100 and take a look at 7B? I think I'm right. Go to page 100 for me. It's just below Harbour Yard, I think. Is that right?
Yes.
Have you got it? Is that it? 7B, page 100, yes? Yeah, excellent. Thank you very much. All right. Okay, I lied to you. I didn't really do this. I didn't really send out your invitations and then cross-reference you with the A to Z. That would be ridiculous and impractical. In fact, what I did was a lot simpler. I just learned all of that. I've learned the whole of the A to Z for Greater London. I'm not making that up. I've genuinely done this. It's taken me about 4 months to do this. I'm not 100% on all of it, but I will do my best for you. This sort of taps into when I was studying law at university, and I had to memorize huge chunks of legal information that I had no interest in at all. So I'm going to try and do this with a few more. So why don't you just give it a good throw, somebody. Just please, somebody catch it, because it's heavy. Any way you like. Just throw it to somebody else. Nice and hard. Great. Perfect. Stand up for me. Stand up for me, sir. Okay, what's your name?
Lee.
Lee, yes?
Lee.
Okay, Lee, here's what I want you to do. I'm going to ask you, Lee, just to open the map up any way you like and go to a page. If possible, don't let anybody look over your shoulder. You don't think anyone's going to help me. But can you just tell me the page number that you're on, Lee?
132.
132.
Yeah.
132. Okay, all right. Now, what I want you to do to find, I'm just trying to picture that in my mind. I want you to find on page 132 something that dominates one square, because the idea is I'm going to get you to tell me a grid reference, and I'll try and tell you what's in that square. So please don't pick a square that got loads of tiny little roads in it, otherwise I won't know which one you're thinking of. But just, if you can find something like a playing field, or a building, or a clear road, or something that dominates one square. Have you got something?
Yeah.
Okay, and then just tell me what the grid reference is, and I'll try and tell you what's in it.
4C.
4C, C for cat,
yeah.
Yes? Okay, here's what I've got. I've got 132. The image I have in my mind for that is a ventriloquist doll. And 4C is for the sea. So he's got... it's water. Hang on. There's a lot of water, and it's something like... in my mind, I've got a snake in water. It's something, a boa, or I think it's a boa reservoir. It's a reservoir, something boa reservoir. What is it? What are you looking at?
Besborough Reservoir.
Besborough Reservoir, yes? That's great, thank you very much. All right. Thank you, let's try this again. Boa and borough mixed up in my mind, how frustrating. All right, okay. Why don't you, we'll throw it again, just do this slightly differently. Any way you like, you can go over there if you like, or back over here, don't mind, give it a chuck, anybody you like.
Mind your
Lovely, stand up for me. Great, what's your name, sir?
Bill.
Bill, why don't you head down with the A to Z, Bill? Let's give Bill a hand, down you come, Bill. Hello, Bill. I'd like you to come over to the mic for me. And there's a highlighter pen. I've just put that table there, and there's a highlighter pen there for you as well. Little tip, you want to take your coat off in the theatre, or else you won't feel the benefit. Here's what I want you to do. Actually, I won't even look. I want you to go to the index at the back of the map, all right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you, because basically what I've learned is the index and the grid references. I'm going to ask you to give me any road that you like on the... you're not one of our cabbies, are you?
Yeah.
You are? Excellent. That's great. That's great. You've got a sort of a cabbie thing about you. I want you to have a look at any road that you like in the index. But please, now you'll know, this is great because you'll know this. Don't pick a road that you know is very well known or huge, all right? Try and pick one that you think is pretty obscure. Ideally, one that you wouldn't even know yourself. Have you got one?
Yep.
All right, into the mic. Just tell me what the road name is. Into the mic, please, so we can all hear.
Halkin Street.
Can you spell that for me?
H-A-L-K-I-N.
H-A-L-K-I-N. Halkin
Street.
Street. Okay, that's a good one. Can you pick up the highlighter pen there? I'd like you to highlight that for me, please, so you don't lose it, and just hang on to that for a minute. Okay, let me just try this again. Can I just ask you just as quiet as possible for a second while I try and do this? Lee, I need you to keep facing the front. Please do not look back here. Keep facing the front, and don't let me look in the book either. If you want to hold that up to you a little bit, that's great. Okay, let me try and do this. Okay, all right. Please just keep facing the front for me. Let me just give this a go. All right, you've highlighted the road. The road again was? Can you spell it?
Halkin Street.
Oh, spell that again for me?
Halkin, H-A-L-K-I-N.
Halkin?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I've got this right. Okay, Halkin Street. Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to look for the moment, forget the grid reference, I want you to look at the page you're actually physically on in the map. And so if you look down at the bottom corner of the page in the index, there should be a page for it. I think it's in the left corner, I think.
Yeah.
What is the page that you're on?
224.
224! Excellent. All right, hang on. Don't look behind you, Lee. Keep facing forward. All right, there are 5 columns. Please be right. There are 5 columns going from left to right. Which column are you in?
Third.
The third column! Save it till the end, save it till the end. All right, for the moment, ignore the one that you've highlighted, all right? Just ignore that for a minute. I want you to look at the grid reference above it in the index, okay?
Yeah.
Nice and clearly, please read out what it is.
3E84.
Yes, all right! And then, I want you to read out the one below it, below the one that you've highlighted. Okay, what's the one below the one you've highlighted?
It's 5D126.
5D126! Which means that Halkin Street, hang on, which means then that Halkin Street, the one that you've highlighted, is 2E84, is that right?
That's correct.
Yes! Excellent, thank you very much indeed. Lee, thank you so much. Hang on to that, keep it as a souvenir. I should go back. Thank you, Lee, ladies and gentlemen. Well done, Lee. Excellent, thank you. So, where's Henrietta? Where are you, Henrietta? Excellent, stand up for me again. So, you chose this one.
Yep.
And you stuck with that one all the way through. You haven't changed your mind.
Yep.
You've been quite strong-minded about that. I'm going to ask you to come up and just make your final decision. Let's have another hand for Henrietta, please. As she comes up, thank you so much indeed. I'll ask you to stand right there for me. Okay. I'm going to give you a clue here before you make your final decision. All right? I wouldn't normally do this, of course. It's a special night tonight, so I'm going to give Henrietta a big clue. Here is your clue. You're wrong. It's in that one there. That is your clue.
Okay.
Now, I realise, of course, in me saying that, Henrietta's not going to believe me. You're not going to believe me. Why would I tell you it's in there when I'm trying not to make you win the cheque? I could probably guarantee that would make you just want to stick with that one even more. Of course, if you think about it, yeah? So you might think I'm saying this there just to catch you out, just to make you stick with that one. So if you think I'm trying to catch you out, catch me out, Henrietta, and go for that one. Yeah? Or if you think I'm just being honest with you, it's still there. Tell you what, before you make up your mind, open up the envelope I gave you, and I want you to read out nice and clearly, right from the very top, please, into the microphone, what it says.
So 3 brief points before you make up your mind. 1, I told the audience you would pick the envelope on the left, the one that now bears a cross. I then made you pick it. I told you I did this, but despite the fact that you knew this throughout the show, you'll still stick with it and not change your mind. 2, after you've read this out, I'll give you 3 seconds of silence to make your final decision. You still won't change your mind. To do so would seem like a sign of weakness.
Fair point, I think.
3, even though you've just read this, even though I told everyone, including you, which one I wanted you to pick, even though everyone knows you've been making the wrong decision, even though I'm telling you that I always make it happen this way, despite all these things, you are still going to refuse to change your mind.
Henrietta, if I can just genuinely take this opportunity to wish you the very best of luck. For £1,000, are you going to change to that one, or are you going to stick with that one over there? Here we go, 3 seconds of silence. I'm going to give you the 3 seconds. Look at me. 3. Into the mic, please. Which one do you want? Say clearly which one you want and point at it.
I'll take that one.
That one there. You're sticking with this one here?
Yep.
All right, Not the first time this has happened. Slightly excruciating it's happening tonight, but actually congratulations. It's great that this happens sometimes, and you will know that it's real and so on. So, no, please do go and help yourself. I won't touch it. Just reach in, take it out. Do show them very clearly, please, as you take it out. Just pull it straight out the top and show them. Do show them clearly. I recommend a gold frame, by the way. It really brings out those chest feathers. Thank you so much. If you want to just reach in there, take out what was in the other one. Take it out for me, and then you hand that straight back, you thief. I'll send you back to your seat. Henrietta, back you go as I wave goodbye to you with a cheque for £1,000. Thank you very much indeed. Henrietta, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you, Henrietta. Well done. All right, thank you. There's just one thing I want to do before I let you actually go. Because I did all that work with the A to Z. I've got it all in my head. There's just one more thing I want to do before you actually go. Where are the cabbies again? Can I just get you to stand up? Thank you. I'm just going to ask you your names. I just need to see you and just hear you for a second. Oh, first of all, I have not met any of you before. I have not spoken with you or met you, correct? No. All right, great. What's your name, please?
David.
David, thank you, David. Okay, great. Let me just need to look at you for a second. And what's your name?
Freddie.
Freddie, great to meet you, Freddie. Thank you very much for coming. Okay, and your name, please? Paul. Paul. And I'm sorry, you up there? I didn't see you.
George.
George. Great, and not Ringo, is it, by any chance?
Me.
Just look at me. I'm going to go, Paul, I'm going to go for you. Is that all right? Rest of you can sit down, Paul. Why don't you head up here? Let's give Paul a big hand as he comes up. Thank you, Paul. Actually, I won't embarrass you at all. You'll be fine. Come head over here for me, Paul. Okay, Paul. These are the pages from the A to Z. These are the pages you can see. I've torn them out, and I've literally just put them all next to each other. You can see that really is what these are, yeah? Yeah. How long have you been a cabbie for?
8 years.
8 years, great. So you've got a good working knowledge of most of this, yeah? A lot of this is, clearly in your mind, yes?
This.
Just that one little bit there. Okay, well, you've got a working knowledge of the whole thing, I hope. I mean, you guys are amazing. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you this. I want you to hold it in your left hand. Great, thank you very much for coming up and doing this, by the way. Just look at me. I'm just going to leave that there and just sort of let that just sleep there for a minute. You can just look right at me. Good. As that just stays right there. Here's what we're going to do. I want you to imagine now that someone's got into your cab, and we're going to play an imaginary game. I want you to imagine they've asked to go to a destination. Right? We're going to call this Destination X. So they're going to go to Destination X. Don't be distracted. I think that's one of the pyros for the end of the show. We'll just keep going. So, what I need you to do for me is just to spend a moment as you think about that destination that they want to go to. Is any picture that you can make of wherever it is they want to go, of that destination, just try and do that for me now. Just spend a moment just forming a picture in your mind nice and clearly. Okay, have you got a picture now? Mm-hmm. All right, great. Thank you. Just going to put your hand down there for a second. You can just relax that down to your side there too. All right, now you know where the destination is. Let's think about the starting point. Let's imagine you're in your cab, but you're no more than 1.5 miles away from Destination X. Okay? So let's imagine that they get in the cab. Now, you can see this guy doesn't know London very well. You can see he's rich. And he's foreign as well. Let's be frank, Paul. Let's not mince words. You're going to give him a little bit of a ride, all right? You're going to take him on a bit of a roundabout route to Destination X. Not for a moment does this reflect on you. I'm sure you would never do this, but purely as a kind of an imaginative game, as a thought exercise, you're going to take him on a roundabout route to get from wherever you are to Destination X. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Great, okay. If I take your hand here, I want you to look right at me. As I bring your hand up, it's going to let your eyelids just start to close now, just like that. That's great. And as your hand comes down, you can just relax more and just sink right into this for me so you can really sink and just drift. That's great, and just float. And as you do this for me, I'm going to take your hand here, and with your eyes closed, that's perfect. In a moment, I'm just going to touch you on the shoulder, and I want you then to start imagining the journey from the starting point to Destination X, going a roundabout route. Now, the route that you take and the turnings you take are entirely up to you, of course. You're going to make those up as you go along. All I ask is that as you do it, that you really clearly in your mind visualize and almost feel the turnings that you're taking, whether they're to the left or to the right. So what I'd like you to do is to start that for me now. Visualizing that journey, really taking each turning and just really feeling each time that you take a turning. Visualizing it so you remember this route. Keep going, take your time, you take as long as you like. When you're finished and you've arrived at the destination, you're just going to say, I'm here, and then you're going to open your eyes for me. You take all the time that you need.
I'm here.
Great, open your eyes for me, put your hand down. Okay, great. Apologise for holding your hand, I know a lot of cabbies are uncomfortable with that, especially when they're driving. Will you just find where you started? Where was your starting point? Will you point that out for me? Where's that?
Buckingham Palace.
All right, great. So I'm going to put a little cross there at Buckingham Palace. Okay. You're going to talk the route through with me from Buckingham Palace all the way to wherever your destination is. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Where are we going from here? Just talk me through. We're on Buckingham Palace Road. Do you want to go down there, or where did you end up?
Constitution Hill.
Constitution Hill, coming along there. So I'm going to start to draw the route, and you're going to tell me where we're going to go.
Hyde Park Corner.
Hyde Park Corner. Where from Hyde Park Corner?
Up Park Lane.
Okay, this is the route that you took. Please do not change it. Whatever that route was in your mind, you mustn't change it now, all right? So going up Park Lane, yes?
Yeah.
Right to the top?
Yeah, to Marble Arch.
To Marble Arch. Where now?
Bayswater Road.
Bayswater Road. We're going to go along here. We're going down Bayswater Road. Past Lancaster Gate?
Yeah, into Notting Hill Gate.
To Notting Hill Gate, right to the end here. So now we're here. Where from Notting Hill Gate?
Into Holland Park Avenue.
Into Holland Park Avenue. So we keep on going straight?
Yeah.
Right the way across?
Yeah.
Right the way to Holland Park?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
To Holland Circus, yeah.
To Holland Circus. Okay, where next? Where from Holland Park?
Straight over.
Straight over. Where to?
Into Shepherd's Bush Green.
Shepherd's Bush Green. Here? Where from here?
That's it.
That's it? So that was your final destination?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a bit of a roundabout route. What route would you have normally taken then?
Along here and up here.
Along there and up there. So you've taken a longer route, which is great. Okay, so thank you for that. What are we talking? How much would that cost?
£8.
£8 or so, which is a lot more than you normally get for that journey, yeah? Okay, great, okay, that's fantastic. So you end up at Shepherd's Bush Green. Let me write that up there. Shepherd's Bush Green. Okay, and the grid reference for that, can you just check that for me? We're on, just come in so you can check this for me. It's 2E, yes?
Yep.
2E and page?
82.
82, yeah, that's 83 that just sort of starts there. So you happy with that? 2E, 82, yes?
Yep.
Yep, okay. 2E, 82. All right. Does that feel fair?
Yep.
Yep, okay, I mean, you started anywhere you like. I mean, actually, bearing in mind you could have gone anywhere, you've gone for if you don't mind me saying, a fairly conservative route. That obviously shows you're a nice guy and an honest cabbie, but that's great. Bearing in mind you had free permission to go anywhere, but you've clearly gone around the houses a bit. Great, that feels fair, yes? Let me show you how fair it was. You've got the envelope behind you there. Open up the envelope. You need to take out a sheet of white folded card. Just take it out and hold on to it. Don't unfold it yet. Just hang on to it for a second for me. Shepherd's Bush Green, 2E82. Yes? Unfold that, show everybody. We've got 2E82 is what it should be. What have you got? 2E82. Spot on. Let me take that for you. 2E82. Have you got that? Thank you very much indeed. Well done. You got it spot on. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Wait. It feels weird, doesn't it? Yeah. It feels weird because you could have started anywhere. You started over here by Buckingham Palace. And those turnings that you were taking, the routes that you decided to go left or right, entirely up to you as you went along. You were making that up as you went along, yes?
Yep.
It feels weird. Open up the envelope as well. Inside there's also there's an acetate sheet, which you would have seen if you take that out for me. And if you open that up, no, not that, just the acetate sheet. Put that back in for a second. Okay, and what is that? What can you see on there?
This way round.
It says this way round and a red line.
Yeah.
This was the route that I wanted you to take, the last bit of the journey. If you just lay that over it, that is the route that I wanted you to take, even though I gave you permission to go anywhere you like. You still went in a straight line. Thank you very much indeed. I'm going to give you that. You did it perfectly. One more thing. There is one more thing in there. Just take it out for me. Hang on a second. One more thing. Take it out for me. What is that?
A receipt.
A cab receipt for how much?
£8.
For £8. Of course it is. It has to be. That's it. You go back to your seat. Thank you very much indeed, Paul. Thank you, Paul. Thank you all very much. Thank you for choosing 2E82. And thank you for choosing the destination I had in mind. Thank you all very much for coming. Thank you for your attention tonight. And thank you for playing. Good night.
Remember what happened in there at all. It's quite uncomfortable and very confusing.
I remember a large room, lots of clapping, a brick wall, lights, but I can't remember anything else, no specific incident. It's really weird. I didn't think I was susceptible to things like that.
He said, think of a number. I thought of a couple of numbers, and then I thought of my friend down the road who works in a lawyer's office. Bizarrely, her name was Charlie, which was also the name of the girl who was guessing. And then I thought of 4 and 5, and that was it.
I'm an NLP practitioner, and I don't know how he does that, and I would like to know how he leads the person into saying and thinking what it is that he is. So he does a lot of transference. He's very, very clever at it.
I remember a loud bang. I remember Krishna falling asleep. That was hilarious, but I can't remember much more than that. That's the honest truth. I remember the loud bang and Shepherd's Bush Green.
I don't think I could do what he's done. He's memorised, as I say, 25,000 different street names with grid references. He's good. He should take up the knowledge.
I remember something about mice, or mouse, or something like that.
I've gone blank.
When it comes to trying to tell you what I can remember, there's nothing substantial there, really. There's nothing that I can say, yeah, that definitely happened.
No, there was a triangle.
You've forgotten the rest of it, haven't you?
There was, yeah. I remember the end.
I really enjoyed the show, I remember some of the,
The thing was, we were brought here in a blacked-out coach. So I was sitting with Jonathan, Ross and Jane, and we were convinced we were going to be killed.
We're hoping we're not in Preston, and there's a gang of Asbo kids with hoodies outside with sharp sticks ready to take us on.
And where are we?